Right, hello, possibly YouTube or something like that, because I've probably started a video at this point, because I'm about to do wishing for Farina. Now, I'm actually free to play for those who didn't know.
Time itself.
So, all of these Puma Gems and Fate you see here are actually just from not wishing for ages. Because for those who didn't know, I collect Archons. That's all I really care about in this game, to be honest. Unless it turns out Farina's not the Hydra Archon. That would be awkward. Oh well. I can't even remember how much pity I have. Yeah, that's like, what, 58 pity? And also I'm guaranteed. Okay, this should be quite quick then. Right. Temple, here we go. First time in like quite a few months. Okay, 4 star. Of course. What have we got? Colle. Oh, okay. Actually, wait, yeah, let me check a second. Yeah, last time I wished was June. Yeah, June. Oh, and there we have it. Okay. Well, that was quick. Only took 220 pulls. Did I say 20? Sorry, 210 pulls. My brain, honestly. Another Colle. Wow. And there we have it. Oh, that's quite cool splash art. Very nice. Oh, it's literally on the final one. Wow. The Malazine girl. Siege Ween, that was it.
Now for a little rest after breakfast. This is the life. Wait a sec. Isn't something important supposed to happen today? Oh, today's our big day! We're supposed to leave the Fortress of Mirrorpeed! Come on, we've got to
Way
go
ahead
complete
of
the
you.
release
I've already
procedures now.
left it many times. Alright, so this act is literally straight after the one before. Okay. Oh, I remember this one. We had to do a little like survey thing. Where they just
Please
wanted
sign
us
here.
to say like,
This document
I
will be
agree,
effective
but,
immediately
or
upon
something like that.
signing, and you two may exit the fort.
It's been so long since we've been to the surface. Let's hurry up and... Huh?
Oh?
What's happening? I'm fine, thanks. But
Let's go ask the Duke. Your Grace?
Ah, good to see you two. Is there something you wish to see me about?
Yeah, what was with that earthquake just now?
Ah, that. The tremor didn't originate from the seafloor. In fact,
Oh,
it seems it came from the
surface.
surface. Over the years of serving as the warden here, I've developed a sense for distinguishing between what occurs on the surface and what
So the fortress is okay?
If you recall our last incident, if there really were a problem, there would be crowds of
Huh, you've got a point. By the way, do you know what day it is today?
I believe...
Wait, seriously?
Wow.
Ah, yes. Have you...
Yep. It's you two.
Yeah, there
Are
she
you
is.
leaving now?
Yeah, the only reason I can
That's right.
imagine
Today
we'd
is
be
our
here
last day
again
in
is
prison.
because of her,
But
like a
now
hangout
that
quest or
Paimon
something.
says that, it doesn't feel like we were confined here. It's actually been pretty nice. Oh yeah, Paimon. Then be sure to come back.
If you've signed the release papers, then you're free to go.
You're not going to see us off.
I knew you'd ask.
Well, you actually agreed.
Ah, so you do...
After being down here for so long, I imagine you must feel like you're lacking. Yeah, don't worry, we'll come back.
I hope you won't be here as convicts the next time I see...
We'll do our best to stay on. Well, it seems our work in the Fortress of Mirrorpeed is finished. That's the end of another chapter in our journey. And since we should probably go report to him now. Next up, the Palais Mermonia. You're going to see Monsieur Nervilette?
I'm sure just your...
I believe...
You're right. I've heard the Palais has been terribly busy these days. Tell him that I hope he hasn't been overwhelmed by the recent...
Sorry, I'm really trying to hold back on skipping the stuff. I do it out of habit. I'm really sorry. I'll try not to do it too much. I swear we've gone here so
The
many
Palais
times. in the
Harmonia
quest.
sure is buzzing with activity today.
Halt! Huh? Oh, it's you two. Apologies. Monsieur Neuvillette did say...
Excuse me. Would you mind helping me take a look at this report?
I'll be right there. Sorry, I've got my...
Everyone's so busy.
It's our boy.
Hello. You've come at the right time, but you'll have to wait for just... In the meantime, please, have a seat. If you'd like to have something to drink, let the Melusine outside know.
That's all right.
Very well, then.
Let's take a break over there while we wait for him to finish his...
All right. That should wrap things...
Are you done with your work?
Yes, sorry to keep you waiting. Today should be the day you were released from the Fortress of Meripede. And it...
That's right. And we came here to see you.
A massive whale.
Do you have any idea what that might be?
Judging from your description, that cannot have occurred in any ordinary waters, but rather something like the primordial sea. A whale of that size and shape cannot usually be found in the waters of Tevat. Therefore, we can only assume that Child is presently immersed in primordial seawater.
Oh, so people were
Immersed in
correct.
primordial seawater? But how? And is he okay?
Yeah, I heard a lot of people saying, oh, he's probably actually in primordial seawater right now. Looks like they were correct.
Most people wouldn't be capable of entering in the first place. I'm not completely sure. Yes? What is it?
Ah, right. We asked the Duke and he said it wasn't from a...
It turns out that I have just received a report about this particular matter. The source of the tremor was here on the surface near Poisson. After the shaking stopped, the water levels in the Poisson area rose at an alarming rate.
The water
Oh.
levels rose? Oh, no.
Fortunately, the water levels only rose for a short period of time and have already returned to normal now. If the change in water levels is connected with the leaking primordial seawater,
Navia should be in Poisson, right? We need to go check...
I would also like to go there as soon as possible, but I'm afraid I can't leave just yet. We must immediately formulate disaster prevention plans for the surrounding coastal areas to avoid potential catastrophes. I'll have to ask you two to go to Poisson first. I'll meet you there to check on the situation.
There's no time to lose. Let's get going.
Please be careful.
Oh, no. What happened here?
Not gonna lie, I don't see any change. Oh, okay. Dissolved?
Navia should be around
Rip
here, right?
Navia?
We need...
Oh, and Malus, of course.
We haven't seen a single soul all the way here.
What will I ever do now?
Look, there's someone on the...
Just stay put. We're coming up. Watch your balance.
Wait, why did it have an M in colons just now?
I'm not. My
Oh my god, I said colon. Sorry, in brackets. My
Oh,
brain today is so...
looks pretty
I
sad.
don't even know. Yeah, very good, good. Oh, is it to say male and
My
female?
leg!
Interesting.
How could this have happened? It hurts!
Just hang in there. Help is on the way. You can hold my.
Okay. I'm guessing it was actually just an earthquake that happened to her then. Oh, she is alive.
Oh, it's Navia. She's over there. Hey, Navia, are you okay?
Doesn't look too happy though.
You're here.
Wait, where's Malus and
We
Silver?
heard there was a situation in Poisson.
Yes. As you can see, the water level
Oh, it was
suddenly
water.
rose.
Oh,
It
okay, never
caused
mind.
quite the disturbance, in fact.
Wait, no, what?
Demoiselle! There was a wounded resident next to a
No,
building
no,
southeast
no.
of here. We've already transported him to safety, but we've run out of medical supply.
He's
Where's
wounded?
Malus and Silver?
How badly?
He fell, so it's probably a broken leg. He's pretty shaken up. When the water level rose, he desperately climbed up to the roof.
He jumped down then. Find the leader of Squad 1 and tell him to take...
Understood. I'll take over.
All right. You'll be...
I don't like the lack of Malus and Silver.
I'm sorry.
This...
Right. A little earlier, we suddenly heard a loud noise. At first, everyone thought that something might have exploded in the waterways. But before we knew it, the rushing water seemed a little odd, almost like the unique color of primordial seawater. Everyone on the street who happened to be close to the water didn't have a chance to escape. Those who realized what was happening started to flee in a panic, desperately trying to get to higher... The Spina di Rosula initiated rescue operations as quickly as possible, but there have been a lot of casualties.
Damn.
Fortunately, the water that flooded the area contained primordial seawater. No one knows if this could happen again. All we can do for now...
How awful.
It was quite frightening indeed. I only wish that everything that just happened was a bad...
Is there any way we can help, Navia?
Thank you for being...
Yep. Yep, looks like Travelers realised
Don't
it.
say that, Navia. That's what friends are for.
Oh god, here we go.
Demoiselle! We've got a situation here.
No! No, that reaction tells it. No! That
Sorry.
says it all.
I need to go for now.
No! They're like the best
And off she
NPCs.
Seems it might be a...
Damn.
Okay, the wounded are being Of course, we should remain ready for anything, and continue doing our best to rescue others. I'll be sure to have everyone at the Traveler. Paimon, would you two accompany me to my father's grave for a moment?
Okay, that's not a good thing.
Right
That's,
now?
yeah.
Thank you. Not a lot of people here, huh?
Well, given the time of day and the whole
Right. That's how things are now. The living are so exhausted that they've no strength to spare any words for the dead.
Navia? Navia, what's wrong?
Sorry. I just...
I swear it's all the tragic things that happened to him.
Malus and Silver.
Damn!
What?
Huh? What happened to them?
Oh, this music again.
Everyone agreed on the rescue plan, but they were helping evacuate the resident, and... I've known them for so long. I could at least hold a funeral
Oh, we
for my
lost our
father,
best boys.
and I know where he rests. But as for Malus and Silver, they're just... gone.
Oh, this as well. Oh, flashback. Oh.
Everything looks so clean after it rains. Even the gravestones. I didn't expect that you'd enjoy a glass of red wine in front of Master Callus's grave.
I can understand. Besides, the scenery here isn't half bad.
See, it's not just me. I always want to bring something when I visit Papa.
How could Master ever be upset? Yet the cemetery is the home of those who have passed, is it not?
Buying yourself a plot in advance, are you?
No need yet. But when I do, I hope you'll let me be buried beside Master Callus.
Hey!
I'm quite serious. That way, it will save us both the trip to see each other whenever you visit your father's
This is
grave.
I'll save.
That makes sense. In that case, could I be
After all, besides you, Demoiselle, the two...
Personally,
Why are you bringing this up all of a sudden? Seriously. All right. I'll remember your requests. But I'd really prefer not to talk about this stuff. And what do you mean by saving me a trip? I'd promised to let them rest in peace here. But here I am breaking that promise.
Well, I mean, to be fair, there's
I'm
nobody
sorry
to bury
for
if
letting you
it's been
see me in a
solved.
mess like this. I don't usually cry, really.
Paimon
You
doesn't
sure?
know how to help you feel better.
No,
But-
joking. I know she gets all
Well-
the tragic stuff.
She understands how you feel.
I had always thought I could make my wishes come true. But now that I think about it, that never solely relied on me. Malus and Silver have helped me so much. I'm so
You can spend as much time as you need here, Navia. We'll stay with you.
Thank you. By the way, you can have a look at this. It's a list of victims.
Oh
Obena,
god, how long is it?
Khan, Burnett,
Oh, that's quite
Even.
long.
So,
It's okay. I know what you're the overall outcome indicates that the cost was worth it.
right. Don't think that way, Navia. One person might be saved at the... Malus and Silver were not the price for...
You're right. What you said just now was...
Oh. Really?
Yeah, in all seriousness, when it comes to that stuff, there's no... If you think about it, there should be no need for a loss in the first place. There shouldn't have to... Like, so no one should actually have to be saved. I've probably gone a bit off track there, but oh well.
Seems you've become more eloquent in the time
Oh.
since we last met.
The knave?
Okay, never mind. I thought she was
What
going to
are
be a
you
bit
doing
disrespectful or something.
Is everything going well on your side?
No?
Yes, my
They're
people
working
are
together.
carrying out the mission according to your request. All the residents of Poisson have been evacuated, and we're preparing to relocate them to higher ground. As for these supplies, we have everything taken care of.
Thank you very much.
Wait.
We just met recently. Right, Miss Navia?
Usually, I would call this a coincidental encounter. But that does thanks to the knave, Spina di Rosula received generous support from the Fatui, which allowed us to complete the rescue and evacuation work so
And to
quickly.
be fair, Archon
Mutual
does seem
aid
to
is
care a
essential
lot
to fostering
about,
positive
you know,
developments. We were already in the
follow
area,
this
in any
and
case, so it was nothing. That said, I must say that you're a lot sharper than you let on. I'm sure you understand what I mean.
I apologize for all the ways in which I tested you previously. My subordinates have reported that Fatui soldiers have been observing water levels.
This is nothing to brag about, nor do I intend to. It is simply the way of powerful organizations to act forcefully, whether they are doing good or ill. You've witnessed that firsthand,
Wonder
in
if
any
we get to
case.
see Archon
As I've told this traveler before, I know of the prophecy, and I intend to prevent the impending disaster. Lending your organization a hand was a natural first step in accomplishing that.
Without your help, there would have been many more casualties.
Furthermore, I sincerely regret what happened to Malus and Silver. I only wish that my people could have arrived a little earlier to prevent this from happening.
Don't say that. You and, as Paimon said, Malus and Silver didn't choose to sacrifice themselves for any specific person. And they weren't the price paid for other salvation. They chose to become heroes
Okay,
themselves.
I think I did lose the plot a bit.
I've
when I
never
was
liked
saying
hearing
that
people
stuff
put
earlier.
it that way. It's like trying to relieve pain by saying some noble-sounding words. But right now, there's nothing more suitable.
You're right. I'm sorry for your loss, Miss Navia. Water is life to Fontaine's people, and it also spells disaster.
So, you're one who will try to change fate then?
Of course. That is why I'm going to Hotel Bouffe de Thé. I still have some things to take care of, and the children need my attention. By the way, traveler, Paimon, one more thing.
Oh god.
Alright, then we'll just... Huh? This isn't
Wait, what?
right. Paimon thought you would ask us
Oh.
to walk with you for a moment so
I
you
think
could tell
I
us something in
accidentally skipped
private.
something.
That is a clever and useful conversation technique, which I
sorry
do
about
like
that.
to
I think
use
I
when
skipped the
necessary.
voice line.
But there's no need today. It would not hurt to have Miss
I'm not sure
Navia
what
listening in. Traveler, I'm sure you remember that I said we could work together when we had... You and I both know that there may be issues with the Primordial Sea. Previously, it was the Fortress of Maripede's sluice gate, and this time it was the water levels in Poisson. These are both... Indeed. Allow me to share the latest intel I've received from the house. During some
actually
recent
working with her.
investigations, a child claimed to have discovered some ruins near Poisson. The ruins date back to ancient times, and judging by the dating of the ruins, they may be related to the prophecy and the coming crisis. The situation is becoming more... My people initially came to prepare for ruin exploration.
So that's why the Fatui were already in Poisson.
I wanted to take the children along, but unfortunately, Linny, Lynette, and Fremine have all... Linny told me that outside of the house, which is why I want to give you this task. The House of the Hearth's members see each other as family, but Linny, Lynette, and Fremine said that they also see you as... I'm sure you already understand how earnest they consider their friendship with you to be.
Oh, that somehow makes Paimon feel kind of...
The intel I just shared about the ruins could fetch a high price. But since the children consider you family, it's all...
Got it! So all we gotta do is go to some ruins, right?
Excuse me, but may I tag along?
You wish to join, Miss Navia?
But are you sure you're up to exploring some ruins?
Well, I'm sad, yes. But I can't just go back and plop myself into a chair by the... There's no point in being depressed while we still have a disaster on our hands. Besides, I'm also doing this for myself.
Fair enough.
Since you put it that way, I have no objections. All right, the ruins are to the...
Okay, the three of us will...
I just want this. I can ascend. Oh, wait,
I'm really not accustomed to using a vision.
Huh?
Oh, why don't you teach me?
Wait, what? Wait, what's she on?
I'm really not accustomed to using a vision. Oh, why don't you teach me? I nearly forgot. You've never used a vision either.
There's no, about the other Archons. Wait. Like if I quickly go to Ada. Oh wait, what? Oh. Okay, never mind. I have to complete the quest to get the voice lines. Which may, yeah, sorry, let me check again with Farina. Okay.
So, are these the ruins the knave was talking about?
They seem to be pretty...
Let's go in...
Just be careful.
Oh my god, that's scary.
This place has also been contaminated by...
Yeah. And a lot of it, too. A Fontanian would most likely dissolve the moment they fell
Yeah, I was
in.
about to say Navia should probably stay back.
You can't go down if there's primordial seawater. It's too dangerous and it won't be any help. Don't get Paimon wrong. We're not...
No, you're right. I can't do anything in this situation.
Wait, what?
That complicates things.
Oh.
Maybe the only...
In that case,
Oh,
do you want to
dear.
wait for us here?
The water levels here are unstable. I'll go
Oh,
together
dear.
with you. Perhaps
No,
we'll
I
find
don't
the
like the
exit.
sounds of that.
Alright. Come with us for...
Oh dear. I'm getting a bad feeling about Navia. And also, I'm pretty sure I saw in the version update trailer thing, it showed Navia drowning or something like that. So I can't help but feel like, you know, something bad is going to happen. Oh wow. This actually reminds me a lot of the floating tower. Oh. Okay.
There's
Oh,
something
ground
wrong with
smoke.
this bridge.
Oh. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh god. Wait, did Navia actually just get dissolved? Wait. Oh. Oh. Okay.
Demoiselle?
Right. Oh, wait.
Demoiselle, what are you doing here by yourself? Would you be standing here till dark if I hadn't come to get you?
Huh?
Maybe she just wants some time to herself, Maloose.
Wait.
Oh.
What?
Was I?
Yes, it...
That's quite possible.
Oh. It must have slipped my... This is a familiar feeling, yet something's a little...
Is something the matter, Demoiselle?
Oh, no. I was just trying to recall why we came out for a walk.
Do you remember Mr. Giverny? He'd requested our help before with foreign
We were headed to see how things...
Ah, right.
Oh, Miss Navia. Ah, Mr. Maloose. And Mr. Silver, too.
Were these also
It's
ones
good to
who've
see
been
all of you.
dissolved by any chance?
How have you been?
I've been great. Thanks to your help, those they were knocking at my door day and night.
I can't remember
Even
the
my
list
neighbor
they said at
Obina
the
was getting fed up with...
Sometimes force is required.
That's right.
Oh, yes. Miss Navia, these are some flower seeds that I prepared. Please take them. They're a very good variety. I don't know what we would have done without...
Ah, did you cultivate them yourself?
Why, we can have as many pots as you'd like, Demoiselle.
Perfect. In that case, we'll swap out some of the decorative plants for...
Very well.
I don't
Wait.
think any of this part's
Something
relevant apart
seems
from
to
the
be
fact
off here.
she's
Excuse
sure
me,
what's going
madam. If I'm not mistaken...
That's right.
No, it's nothing. This is the first time we've ever met, but I've heard this name before.
Okay, she can't
Sometime
work
recently,
out
I'm...
what's been going
And
on.
why are there so few people around here?
We must mind the time, Demoiselle. We still have important things to attend to today.
When people get dissolved, do
we
they
do?
maybe survive?
Like what?
Wonder.
Well, now, did you...
Miss Navia, here you are. I've been looking for you. Please, come to the Opera House. Your trial is about to begin.
Huh?
My trial?
Yes, she's right, Demoiselle. It's just about...
Oh?
I'm so confused. Oh well, I'm not really supposed to understand what's going on, am I?
Look, it's Navia! She's here!
Okay.
And her two attendants are with her. Goodness, everyone's finally here.
There sure are a lot of people here to see the trial. And they all seem to be oddly... excited about some... Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen. Why are so
I
many
take it
people
all of
here?
these people were the ones who were dissolved.
And as for the judge... huh?
Please sit in the defendant's seat. Don't worry, Silver and I...
All right. But...
Typically, it wouldn't be allowed, but...
What is going on?
Hey, what kind of place do they think this is?
Come on. Do they have any idea what they're doing?
Enough with the whispering!
My dear Miss Navia, have you not... As all here
Oh.
know, you are Master Callus's successor.
Is this in her head
the
where
head
she's like
of the Spina
she feels
Dirasula,
guilty for their deaths?
someone held in high
Is it that kind
regard
of
by
thing?
every soul. After you took over the Spina, you treated all of us just like the late Master Callus had. Not only you, but your butler, your
Wait a moment.
Yes, correct. Absolutely right. And we are one big family, all of us who are from Poisson, inextricably linked. Therefore, this fair and honorable court shall declare you guilty, and you shall stay here. You will be together with us.
Huh? Everything you have said is correct. I have indeed done a lot for my hometown, and I would be willing to be with you all, but what is the purpose of having me stand here like
it's
this?
like the regular music
What
it plays
is there to
here, but
discuss?
it's got like an
Oh,
underwater
well,
sound to it.
If that's what you think, then I have no further comments.
How wonderful, Miss Navia!
Sorry, I think I've been talking a bit too much. I've been talking a lot of
these people.
I've been talking over a lot of
Why
these
are they laughing?
voice lines. Oh,
I seem to remember now.
Wait just a moment. This isn't right!
okay. Now everyone's just confused with what's going on.
What was that, Mr. Malus? Our conclusion is very clear and unanimous. Let the court judge her now. She's guilty!
Stay here, Navia! You're one of us!
Demoiselle, don't admit guilt. This trial means to keep you here forever.
Yeah.
I wish to exercise my right to defend Our Lady. Mr. Joinville, you only know of Navia's goodness, but nothing.
She was born a free and independent spirit.
Her actions cannot serve as proof that she Please do not mistake her actions.
Really? As an individual, you say? Don't forget, we are all Fontanians here. This, even if Miss Navia only voluntarily rendered her assistance, that doesn't change the fact that her beautiful soul must return to everyone. Everything is measured here in the nation of Hyde. Now, I speak for everyone. Our opinion is consistent. Navia should stay.
And you would call this justice? Have you forgotten how much you all once...
Do you mean to defy our justice?
If your justice is flawed, then why should we acknowledge...
As you said, we can also have our own justice. Silver and that.
My head...
Demoiselle!
Silver, it hurts. I remember now. Everything that seemed off. Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen, and Mr. Giverny and Mrs. Burnett, who we met earlier. Even Malus and Silver.
Yeah.
I don't want to admit it, but...
Okay, so I was
but
correct
they're
about
all
that.
dead.
Don't be afraid, and don't admit guilt.
Absurd! Who are you to say that she cannot be judged? We are the majority, and in the nation of trials, the majority is absolute justice.
Don't let them escape! We shall keep Navia here with us!
Mr. Malus and Mr. Silver, must you be so stubborn? How could the two of you possibly hope to stand against the collective? Do not resist. This judgment is fair and just. Navia belongs to us.
What did it flip
After
it to
all that
just now?
happened, she should not
no,
be left
shouldn't.
alone in Poisson.
What are you saying?
No more excuses!
She says we're jealous. Jealous? Huh? How could she possibly be an independent individual?
What's with these people? Who's jealous of her?
She belongs to us!
Miss Navia.
Silence.
Oh, hello.
That's... Monsieur Neuvillette!
Such commotion is prohibited in the court. The accusations you just presented are nonsense and cannot constitute a proper trial. The court will adjourn for the rest of the day. In this, I shall hear no objections from any unauthorized party.
Our thanks.
Please leave with me, Miss Navia, while there—
But...
Okay, so Neuvillette did just
Go
like,
on now,
go to
demoiselle.
primordial water.
This is your only chance to leave this place.
Malus.
My apologies. I couldn't resist making one little joke once I realized that... This shall be our last goodbye.
Malus. Silver.
Quickly, you must come now.
Goodbye.
Farewell.
Well, looks like that really is the end of Malus and Silver.
No, wait!
Like the last
Just
we'll
a
hear
second!
of them.
Navia?
You're awake. Good.
I must have been dreaming. Malus and Silver were still alive, and they were defending me at some insane trial.
It looks like you're all right.
Did all the sad feelings cause you to have a nightmare? Paimon could give you a hug?
The ruins you were exploring suffered a cave-in. When I arrived, I found you You were just about to be dissolved. I think I saw 2 Oceanids protecting you. It was only for a moment, perhaps even a fraction of a second. Were it not for their intervention, I would not have been able to rescue you before your consciousness dissipated.
Wait, did you say Oceanids? You mean like what happened with Vache?
Perhaps those 2 Oceanids were...
I always told them that they didn't have to protect me.
Please come with me.
Neverlet, are you okay?
Oh, I am quite all right.
Why do you look so stiff out? Oh, Paimon knows. You're the type who feels awkward when there's nothing to talk about, right?
I merely thought that we should give Navia some...
Huh? Why didn't you just say so then? Don't you...
I suppose so. Ah, Sigewinne. I hope all is well with her these days. Her work in the Fortress of Meropide has not been too much for her, has it?
No way, don't worry. She's doing fine down there.
I see. Well, that is good. I have always worried that Sigewinne would need a lot of time to understand the world of humanity.
Oh, and the Duke also says hi. Even though Sigewinne made him do that. He hopes that...
Thank you. I have indeed been busy lately.
He still doesn't know what to talk about. So, Neverlet,
Oh my god.
you're probably quite the swimmer, huh?
This reminds me of the beginning of the Fontaine
Yes,
quest.
of course.
Like, no, when we first met him.
This isn't going anywhere.
Yes, in fact. I had arranged to meet you in Poisson, but when I arrived, I discovered that the Fatui were helping the residents evacuate. Amid my astonishment, I ran into the nave, and we had a chat.
Yeah, we originally planned to meet up with you, but we thought you might still be busy with all those official documents. We didn't think
Oh, so
exploring the ruins would
Arlecchino
take very long,
indirectly
and who
saved
would have
Navia.
thought you'd wrap things up so quickly?
I'm sorry to have kept you all waiting like that. I'm feeling much better now. I guess we should get going again. Will you come with us, Monsieur Neuvillette?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind my company.
But we don't get him as much fun.
Another one joins the party! Let's get going then!
Yeah, they all join the party, but none of them are playable right now. by the looks of it. Oh. It's happened again, like the, what's it called, the FOV? It's gone out a lot.
Another unstable path!
Oh, it's whenever the thing's about to break, isn't it? Oh, it actually did fall down. Damn. Don't think I have the stamina. What? Oh, I had to... Oh.
Quake!
I have to rely on Jung's pillar here. I have a feeling you don't actually fall down, it's probably just to give you a sense of urgency, I guess.
Incinerate!
You see, it only breaks down once it actually comes
Seems we're almost at the top. Keep it up!
At least I think it waits for you to get up.
yeah.
Solidify! I will have order.
Yeah, I was waiting for the ruin guards to get back so I could watch the meteor.
Motion to compel.
It's not meteor, is it?
Everyone hold her.
Well, it's cool. Don't use burst.
Stabilize!
Yeah, I've been wondering what that thing spinning at the top is. I can't remember the name for that kind of shape. But, oh, they're just gonna leave it. Okay. It's crazy how areas like this are only available for that tiny part of quests.
Looks like we've reached the end.
This is the place. There should not be any other hidden spaces in the vicinity.
The path sure had some twists and turns, but it turns out that this place isn't actually that big.
Yeah.
Stone slates. It seems like they were put here as an offering. Could we take them down and have a look?
Perhaps we should just leave them be for...
There are 4 locations in total, but only 3 stone slates. The slate that should be in the first empty spot is missing.
The surrounding walls also...
There's something written below. Let Paimon see. Reason dictates that this nation be destroyed. I shall record the history of its future here in its past. Say what?
That's exactly what I'm thinking, Paimon. What on earth? So, did someone plan for the prophecy? Like, is someone actually behind it?
It feels like someone left these slates and these words here for a purpose. But does he mean that Fontaine should be destroyed?
Yeah,
that
so
would fit the
whoever it is
circumstances
actually
dictated
wants
by the prophecy, yes.
Ah.
Indeed, the slate's contents correspond to it. Take the second slate, for example.
There's a person kneeling here. She seems so dedicated. And there's a whole bunch of other people behind her doing the same. She's facing this... what is this? Some kind of island in the sky?
Okay, I think I understand what's going on here. I know I've only seen a bit of what they're saying here, but I'm gonna take a guess and say the person who wants it destroyed is someone from Carnia. This person here is probably the previous Hydro Archon. These people are following what she's doing, and it's basically showing that she follows Celestia quite a bit. This being Celestia. Like, as in, I think it's Icarian who wants it because, of course, who else would hate someone who worships Celestia?
And
that's my theory,
is
anyway.
That Lady Farina in the third image? Did the Hydro Archon fall into the water?
And
I actually don't know.
Is that a ring of people around her? Paimon doesn't quite get it. Are they all in the water?
The fourth image. I know this one.
Yeah.
This exactly matches the content of the prophecy.
My
The
theory is
people
that
will
it's
all
someone
be
from
dissolved
Carnia.
into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain.
Be funny if it turned out to be like Dangerliff or something. No?
More information should be hidden in these slates, but I fear I cannot easily uncover it.
Don't blame yourself, Monsieur Nervalet.
Ooh, Paimon's getting the chills just... This says that it's the history of the future, right? That means the prophecy should...
I really hope...
Still,
History of the
Paimon
future.
feels like these images are kind of weird when you look at them together.
Is there a way we can inspect them, maybe? The issue is the order of the third and fourth images.
That's right!
Oh,
If
right.
the images are in
Yeah,
chronological
yeah.
order, shouldn't the fourth, the waters drowning Fontaine, come before the third, where the Hydro Archon herself falls into the water?
And yet the order is reversed here.
What if it's the other way around? Maybe the fourth one's the first one that happens, then the third one, and then this one. As in, this one's after the prophecy, rather than before. Oh no, I could be wrong there.
If we go by timing, Lady Farina only emerges in the third image. That means that the person in the second image might be
Okay,
the
that's what I
previous
thought,
Hydro Archon.
Egeria, then.
Yeah,
I had
Egeria.
never met her, but her appearance here does match the records.
Oh, okay, never
The
mind.
previous
never mind.
Archon kneeling before the floating island in the skies, as if confessing a sin.
Okay, I
Did
misjudged
she
that a
herself
bit.
commit
I thought
that
it was
sin?
worshipping.
And if
Never mind.
not, why would she be in such a posture? Also, I'm still wondering why these ancient stone slates are here at all. Judging from their contents, could this place be the origin of the
But who would have created these?
It seems that any further clues will have to come from Farina.
In that
Unless
case,
it's
there's
like
no
the
time to lose.
previous Hydro
There's
Dragon.
nothing else to be gained here, so let's head back first.
Oh no. There's no way we can know for
Yeah,
sure. Just
we
have
better
to wait
get somewhere
and see.
safe for now.
Yeah, I guess fair enough. Usually in a lot of these cases, if you
Let's
work
split
out
up
who's
here.
behind it, then
I'm
you
going to
can
check on what's happening with the
prevent
Spina.
it. Yeah,
You know how it is. There's some...
You still have energy for that now?
Just head back to the Fluvsandre and have...
I'll depart as well. Thanks for your hard work today. Rest, traveler. I will go talk to Farina tomorrow morning to ask about... I'm sure that you're concerned about this matter as well. If you have time, drop by my office.
Are you really gonna talk to her about this directly? Will that be...
She has long been harboring secrets, and will not give them up easily.
Alright, we'll leave it...
I will be carefully...
Traveler, Paimon, our safe house at the Fluvsandre is always open. All right.
Right. Wonder if we get to see the conversation between Neverlet and Farina. Kind of doubt it, but you never know. They showed it in the last act.
We're finally back!
Welcome back.
Yay! And there's good food too! Navi, no, the boss is the best. Paimon's already starting to forget.
Oh, that
Mona?
voice. Is that who I think it is?
Mona? What is she doing here? Didn't hear anything about her being
It's
in
you
this.
two. What are you doing in
What's
Fontaine?
she doing here? Was she originally from Fontaine? Can't remember.
Mona?
Unless she's here to prevent the prophecy.
Seriously, nobody just uses a
Oh,
scry
unless it's
glass whenever
her,
they've got time to just see who they'll meet on
The
the
person who
road.
taught her magic
Still,
or
we
whatever,
didn't expect to see
astrology.
you here.
Maybe it's her who's
Wait,
behind
you're
it.
not a Fontanian, are you, Mona?
Probably.
Well, I have some business to attend to here, so I booked a hotel. Why did you think I was from Fontaine, though? Is that because Magistus doesn't sound much like a Mondstadt surname? Well, I used to have my own surname, which was, well, some other
What was
thing. Either way, the old hag told me when
Yeah,
she
the
took
old
me as her
hag.
disciple that the first step to being a great astrologist's pupil
if they're
was to
behind it.
change that name. There was nothing for it, really. She really is amazing at astrology, so I changed my name to what it is now according to her wishes. Nope. Although
Wait,
it
so
is
she
used
just
by
came
us
up
in
with
place
this
of surnames, it generally just means great.
Oh.
Wow! Imagine including a boast in your name. Wait, are you gonna have to put that into your genealogy as
Kind of
I
sounds
reckon
like
so.
the kind of thing Paimon
In any
would do
case,
to,
I'd give my disciple a
Sounds like
name
the
like
kind of
this
thing
as
Paimon
well,
would do,
if
to be
I were
honest.
to take one.
Oh. Wait. I just had a thought. Imagine if it's Skirk.
Astromancer,
Okay, never
Barbeloth,
mind. I was about to
Trismegistus.
say.
Whoa, that's a long one.
My name means Mona the Great Astrologist. As for the old hag, hers is, in plain speech, the thrice as great Scholar of the Stars. Just take it as a title specific to
Like as
astrologists.
in the third best? Or
Thrice as great? That's so petty.
thrice as
I
great?
know, right?
I don't
That's
know.
just how she is. She used to talk about it. Magistus is thus the calling card of our school, so to speak, which makes it about the same as a surname. It's all right
so
if you don't
anyone-
get it. You can look into it further should you need to study.
That sounds terrible!
Kind of cheesy.
But anyway, you're not Fontanian, are you?
Well, I was born in Mondstadt, yes. My parents migrated to Dornman Port, and I traveled.
Oh, that's a good thing then.
Speaking of that, I'm sure you're aware that a bunch of things have happened here in Fontaine, right? I know you're not a local. There's something ominous about it. Well, the water, I mean.
I wonder if she's gonna be the solution. Yeah, I wonder if she's gonna be able to
That
solve.
was the main reason, yes. Just a while back, the invitation was sent quite early on. I don't think
What do you make of that prophecy, Mona? Just tell us what you think as an astrologist.
What I can tell you is that I'm an astrologist, and that this prophecy concerns the fate of Fontaine, even that of Altivat. Ascertaining this is akin to reading the I'm afraid that this is not something that just anyone can do. If I could do it, you would no longer call me an astrologist, but a visionary. But on the flip side, the prophecy is so huge and powerful that it must surely come from a powerful visionary. Its contents involve the fate of the world. Disregarding it would be a mistake.
Foresight.
A visionary? Sounds really powerful and...
Of course. The old hag could do it, and I'd bet there are others amongst those Hexenzirkel. Are you sure? All right, I'll help you.
Thanks, Mona. You're amazing.
Oh, well, this is...
That's the greatest of astrologists for you.
Indeed.
Oh, sorry. I came to see what all the commotion was about. If the
Oh, whoops. Guess we were getting a little too carried away there. Well, I'll go tend to my own business now.
And there she goes, quick as rushing water. And here we are with the Spina
I
guy
just
giving
realised
us
she was
suspicious
running
looks.
without turning into water.
If Paimon hadn't spoken for you, it'd be you getting all the way. That's
Kind of
smart.
really cursed. I suppose you get that if you use her in Spiral Abyss, I think.
Good morning. To be
It is
honest, I'm
something like
still feeling kind of sleep. But it's time to get up, traveler. We agree.
Okay.
You're here. Monsieur Neurvalette and Lady Farina, they seem to have gotten
Oh?
into a dispute. Please go see for yourself.
Oh dear.
Like I said, I've already explained everything.
And yet the problem has not been properly solved. It is not my intention to offend you, but please, tell me where you stand. You are the Hydro Archon Focalor, are you not? Look at this. This is a
You mean they're all...
We did not arrive in time to avert this disaster, and I will not have it happen again. I will say this once more. You must tell me everything you know. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near Poisson.
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now. I don't know anything about that. But you found them in some ancient ruins, you say?
That's correct, which is why I came to ask you some questions. There should have been 4 slates, but one of them was missing. The other 3 featured different images that...
The prophecy?
The second of these slates depicts the previous Hydro Archon Egeria kneeling before...
I don't.
I'll ask you again. Do you really have no information regarding the previous Archon? My deciphering of the slates indicates that the Hydro Archon Egeria once had to confess to, or apologize...
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself and I'm me. Is it really so strange that I know nothing? I understand your concerns, but I'm sorry.
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Farina. but I have long known of your various secret investigations into certain matters. There are several indications that you have been investigating the prophecy on the sly. This is not strange in itself, considering that you are the Hydro-Archon. But it is strange that you should also claim to not know any of Egeria's secrets, as well as do nothing following your inquiries. You have never been as superficial as you have presented yourself to be, nor are you a fool. And yet, your behavior is very inconsistent.
So you've been watching me all this time, have you? I didn't think you were that type.
You...
Well, since you know about my secret investigations, there's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eudix, but you're still my subordinate. You should be following my lead. Just trust in me. You're Archon, and do as I say. That's all I have to say. We do not discuss this matter again. Oh, the opera's about to start.
She didn't look happy there.
Did Farina not notice us standing by the door? Wonder what's up with her. She was smiling.
No, she wasn't.
She didn't seem in the
I
mood
swear
to
she
care
looked
if we were
really
listening
upset
in or
there.
not.
I assume you've been outside for a while.
Oh! You noticed!
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion... Still, I do not understand. Dialogue. Everyone in her inner circle has noticed that she is hiding some secret. We may have to create a situation in which she will have no choice but to speak.
Oh my god. You know, in the version update, they said... sorry, there was a part at the beginning where Neverlet said Funa has the death sentence and stuff. That was probably... that. That's probably how they get her to speak. Oh my god. I think we got bamboozled again.
Oh? Like what?
Normally, people will only reveal the truth when standing trial.
Yep.
Perhaps...
Yeah.
Farina's seen so many trials, and she's really good at that.
We will need to consider this thoroughly. Join forces with various... If at all possible, I would prefer to recuse myself from this affair, but this may be cruel to her. But all Fontaine is in crisis. The information a god possesses is too But who will lend us their aid to do such a thing?
Arlecchino will probably get her to spill the beans, for sure. We're getting Arlecchino to help, aren't we?
Well, that's everyone, huh? Speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Poisson was just involved in a disaster, so it's presently...
And here you are, drinking tea like it's...
That's what family should do.
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know. Care for a cup?
Lend me your ears,
Obvious.
everyone.
Oh, so no Arlecchino?
Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you, friend?
Oh, Femine. I thought
Me?
Arlecchino would be the one to help.
No,
the,
I
question
don't think I
or
can.
whatever.
Then, how about you, good sir?
Oh, no.
I fear that I will cause the mood on this boat to become as somber as...
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things.
That was a little long-winded, don't you think?
Oh,
Okay.
you might be right.
We've got the whole gang.
Anyway, to cut to the chase,
Wow.
our friend here, the Traveler, has brought us together to discuss something. As for what that is, well, let's start by saying that we'll be pooling our efforts together to create a series of traps.
Oh, how intriguing.
Well, it's just an expression, really. One that I just...
Huh? Didn't you say that you would be facilitating this?
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good chance to practice.
I see.
He is glad that you consider him your boss. Do go on.
In that case, do any of you have experience hunting?
Not that I recall.
Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger.
I've also gone diving.
I'm afraid not. You may or may not have heard, but Fontaine once played host to a group known as the Marechaussee Hunt. Though that was their name, they did not hunt animals, but rather various monsters left behind. Today, Fontaine's monster population has already thinned greatly, so the hunters have blended back into society, taking up arms in a trap comprises of the following components: bait, a trigger. So, if we were to build a
For me, I would prefer something basket. Our line of work requires a...
You used some of those techniques while moving the people of Poisson, didn't you? My subordinates mentioned that you even performed some magic.
Yes, and I even managed to gather some intelligence in the meantime.
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer more stable...
Calm and steady.
And I can be their assistant.
With discretion, I'm sure.
I'd probably use some sort of mechanical animal. Papa once bought me some small clockwork squirrels, mice, and so... I remember that you liked those too.
I did. And that would be a good way to go about it.
What about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
I fear I do not have any...
That makes sense. You usually solve problems directly. But I do have one more question for you. If we were to create a trap now...
I would like for it to be effective, but bring no harm.
Kind, as always. However, our intention doesn't necessarily change. If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also goes for prey that must be
Wait, why is that?
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it.
So...
We hadn't thought of seeing our...
If our means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them on trial, but we shall require much more courage than any hunter to judge a god. A being whose seat is in...
Oh, so that's what's...
Okay. Yeah.
It's been a tough few days. Paimon didn't think the meetings would go on for so long, but everyone seemed... Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks about it, but everyone else just looked a little surprised. It's hard to say. Paimon doesn't have any experience with this sort of thing. But with you around, Paimon... After all, you're the most reliable person in the world, aren't you? Huh?
So,
did you just... Then what's that? Paimon's never seen that cup before!
Don't be frightened. I'm just joining you two for tea. I merely refrained from saying anything till now.
Who's that voice?
Ah, have you forgotten me already?
Wait, you are familiar. You're the voice we heard from the sky in Sumeru.
The voice from the sky, I fear that description is wrong. Though, not completely wrong. You're feeling lost now, just as you were feeling previously. I sensed that confusion and, consider me a passerby, just accepting a commission from my friend's disciple on a whim. The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled. You may view...
What?
I believe you have witnessed a failed attempt with your own eyes. Can everything... So just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the god's gaze does not fall? Are the things that you shall see different from the fate that the...
What is she talking about?
I believe that you understand, right? Some things are insignificant, but others you must ultimately. Fate shall This was good tea, but...
The voice. Alright, coming! Hey, it's you who's
Well, I see I've walked in on some lively banter.
Mona!
Fine, just fine. I went to take part in that Not all Fontanians are pessimistic about this. One journalist mentioned that sitting around and waiting for the end to come would be wrong.
Did she have pink hair?
Why, yes! It was Charlotte. I'm in full support of her view. Prophecies are very important, but how can people allow their lives to...
That's right! Paimon's glad...
Ah, yes. About what we had discussed before. I did try, but I'm afraid I could... Huh? Goodness gracious. Are you serious?
She said that even the god's gaze has blind spots. Pretty bold if you ask Paimon.
The Hexen Circle members are certainly anything but ordinary. As for the mage named N, the old hag has mentioned her a few times. She said that N but I've never met her. And if she were still alive, she'd be... well, suffice it to say that the hag's at least a few hundred now, and...
Whoa. The Hexen Circle sounds like a...
Their abilities alone are pretty terrifying. If she came to see you personally, then the problem you're facing must...
Well, it's not like Paimon could understand anything.
Yes, she was quite cryptic, but I suspect she means that there is still a way to turn things around. She didn't say when. Perhaps it is something that you cannot know right now. Traveler, Paimon?
Oh, we're fine. We're just a little down right now. It kind of feels...
I see. I feel that I guess you could consider me someone who has often witnessed fate. So far as I have seen, it cannot be swayed. But even so, I still hope for and believe in. Perhaps that's what N was trying to tell you. Not to lose heart, and to believe that what you are seeing playing out before you... I did originally think of steering clear of all this, but I couldn't. Even if this is all futile, I still wish to help everyone.
Huh. You do have a point.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair...
There I go, talking about astrological principles again. Sorry about that. The moment I start talking about work-related stuff...
I feel like they're a bit unpredictable.
I need to get going.
Like, from the god's perspective. Because, of course, they kind of go against the rules of the world. You know, with the whole, elemental power of our vision and not being affected by Ermin's soul because they're a descender and everything.
It was worth trying to comfort you, even if I suppose that might be why we always seem to...
Paimon feels kind of moved by what Mona said. Hey, Traveler, Paimon suddenly feels like going outside. Huh? Our names are written in... Let Paimon see! The underwater stronghold, the Fortress of Meripede, has... My recent attempts to enter the fortress bore little fruit. Huh. Thus, did an Outlander friend become the focus of this report. A blonde adventurer with their white fairy, legends trailing in their wake. It is said that this mysterious traveler once visited the underwater fortress. So while the fortress's interior remains a mystery behind closed doors, journalist Charlotte's biggest scoop yet. The Charlotte took so many awesome photos of us and she hasn't been able to get a hold of anything at the fortress, so since we're easier to find, she's using us as the subject matter instead. Ugh, seriously? Well, fine.
I think I messed something up there. Oh wait, isn't this where Archon is supposed to be? She mentioned being at her hotel, didn't she?
Hey,
never mind.
Look! That's the limited edition, only 16 slices a day cake!
Wow.
It was so situation we were in.
One slice of cake, please.
Wow.
Someone showed up after all. Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Oh, are you here to buy cake too? It seems Monsieur Nervalet was...
Wait, did he really say something like...
That's right. Even he has his own preferences when it comes to...
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily schedule, apart from...
Then what if someone told you one day that this place would be closing soon, and you wouldn't get to...
But why would it close?
Well, Paimon doesn't know either, but...
Oh, the prophecy. To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to that. No, still, even if there'd be no more cake tomorrow, that wouldn't keep me from having some today. No, it's the same for eating in general. You might not be able to eat tomorrow, but if you can do so today, then you should carry on. That's what people call living, you know.
Huh.
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have 2 more slices of cake? These 2 slices are for you. Sijuin said that this kind of expression you're making is what humans call being sad.
Oh, you know Sijuin?
I sure do. She was born before. She said that humans are creatures that are saddened easily. Yes, and you can only lift their spirits by... I've got something else to do, so I'll be going now. You...
And there she goes. All right, let's dig in. Paimon should... It's more delicious than last time. Sure would be nice if we could always eat delicious food.
Wow! If it isn't the Traveler and Paimon!
Ha! You've got some nerve! You just used us to make...
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I heard that you were in Poisson. It's all right, though. I've set aside the amount intended for you. I've even set the table with some food.
Really?
You're almost a little too easy to win over, Paimon. If I were a journalist with ulterior motive...
Oh, Paimon knows you're...
Still, what brings you here all of a sudden?
When Mona mentioned you, we thought of coming to...
I see. It seems you've already bumped it. So she mentioned me? What did she say?
She said that you're a real daredevil of a...
Nice. In which case, can this daredevil journalist...
Huh? So you're...
Oh, of course it doesn't. That was more like live photography. What I'd like to do is
Yeah, are we even...
Why not? If I say you're worth...
Oh, in that case...
Oh, so that's a yes? Ooh, splendid! I'll tell the... Ooh, so much to get done now.
Wait, Charlotte. Paimon's still got a question for you.
And what's that?
If, just for example...
Huh, that's the prophecy you're talking about, isn't it? I mean, I do hear about it often, but if you're seriously asking, then I might try and think of a way to leave Fontaine. From what I've seen, most people don't know what they do should the worst come to pass.
Why don't they just evacuate Fontaine?
In truth, it might be better just to behave like normal rather than worry over such an end. So in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping at the office for that interview of ours. Just think about it. If this nation really were to be suddenly destroyed tomorrow, but I still successfully finish an exclusive interview, and then do you know what I'd do? Well, I'd write that story, send it for printing. I'm not a dreamer, nor am I a workaholic. But I do love my job. But anyway, that's my answer. And
That's so nice. Anyway, let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we? The sea breeze and scenery can be a pretty soothing... Paimon's been thinking... If it wasn't Fontaine, but all of Tevat that would be destroyed tomorrow... No, Paimon should ask, if you could choose, what would you like? We've always been moving to the next destination, so we haven't spent much time thinking about these kinds of things. You mean, still traveling? Huh. Wait, isn't that what...
I'm a bit confused by, like, what's actually going on with this chest now, to be honest.
Feels like it'll grow moldy.
'Cause there was
but
that
it's
whole
still
thing
better
of
than the
trying
Fortress
to-
of Mirapede, that's for sure. It's not only damp there, but salty.
Ah, so the two of you are still here. Wonderful.
Because, yeah, there's that whole thing of trying to come up with a way to get Farina to spill the beans or whatever, you know. And then it's suddenly now talking about what we'd do if Fontaine was suddenly destroyed and stuff. Seems a bit strange.
Oh, you're from the Palais Mermonia, aren't you?
Yes, I'm Isadora. Monsieur Nervillet sent me to look for you two before. Not at all. I'm well aware. Yes, inside the Opera House. The Maréchaussée Phantom has declared the—
A riot?
Well, that said, Lady Farina was watching a performance at the Opera House, loudly accusing her of doing nothing, and before she could respond, the crowd continued to grow and protests against the Hydro Archon
Literally, as I
started to
say,
break out.
how are they gonna do
So
this
people
stuff?
have
They
started
suddenly
to put
start.
the blame on
yeah.
Farina.
Okay, never
Guess
mind.
they finally found an outlet for the pressure they've been under due to the prophecy.
I agree. People will naturally rely on gods, as is customary. But the moment people feel threatened, gods—
So what happened after that is—
Seeing that the situation was spiraling out of control and that further argument was pointless, the Maréchaussée Phantom had their hands full maintaining order and did not catch Lady Farina.
So, you mean—
That's right. The That said, I don't think there's much to worry about. She is a god. Good.
Don't worry, this is more—
Is that so?
Well, sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then. If we know Farina, she won't try to fix things in this situation. And, as we also know, when Nervillet was talking, it would be hard for her to ignore being accused. Paimon thinks Farina's probably taken the up. Huh! Well, what do you think? In that case, there's— That's Farina, right over there. She really is here all on her own.
Should I just give up?
No, she's
This is
fine.
all meaningless. What was meant to happen did happen after all. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I'm sorry, but what can I even do other than to repeat me? Who's that?
Don't worry, Farina, it's just—
So it is you, blonde traveler from another land. Why, I almost thought you were someone from that mob of my ignorant subjects. Come to kneel and beg for my forgiveness.
Farina, you were—
what do you mean, tear stains? Who did that uncivilized rabble think they were, disturbing my enjoyment of the arts? They even dare to tout their Archon! I must teach them a lesson. Oh, and I'm sure Neuvillette and those people from the Maréchaussée Phantom are freaking out right next to them, too!
Yeah, she definitely is putting on front then. Cause yeah, I always thought she did whenever she acted like this, like, you know, the way we normally see her in public. Always feels like she's just putting on a front.
Of course not!
Hey, there she is! The Hydro Archon's over there! Quick, after her!
Farina, those people seem to be after you.
They are? They're just some... that's against the rules.
Farina just ran off! Quick, we have to catch up with—
Did you just... yeah. Oh. Okay.
This should be the
I was
place,
gonna say,
right?
when are you gonna stop that whole running?
There's a good hiding spot over here! Quick, come to—
What is this place?
Hurry, they're almost—
Fine. I suppose haste is warranted. Lead the way.
Wait, what on earth is this place? What? Okay.
I'm so tired. No, I mean, I merely gave in to the sheer enthusiasm they displayed.
Yep, that's...
What's happening? The ground's shaking.
Yeah, a quake...
It can't be. It's happening again.
Well, there's no need to worry too much about that.
Yeah, but the people of Poisson... It's true. I've been investigating the prophecy for hundreds of years. I once had informants all over Tevat, searching for clues and feeding information back to me. I've tried all kinds of ways, too, to hold back the sea, but all my efforts proved to be futile in the end. We cannot make an enemy of the divine. No matter what we do, the will of the heavenly principles will have its way. And the... Give up. I do love, indeed. I've thought about giving up, so fate is really unreasonable, isn't it? It has no heart and obeys no rules. The prophecy has only just started to come true, but just now, it all became clear to me. I still don't have the right to come to terms as long as the final moment hasn't come. It's still not too late. Don't worry. I will keep... Well, that's enough for now. I got the impulse to play the stricken maiden, but honestly, considering my rank and station, that wasn't a good fit at all. Don't take any of what I just said seriously.
Come on! Paimon could have sworn you were...
Share my burden. That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone. A witness. And if Tevat is in its entirety a show on a stage,
information.
It...
Oh, here we go then. Oh, you got me joking. Oh, damn. Oh, we've already got her there. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my
opening
performance.
Yeah, I don't think Farina's gonna trust us anymore.
Now, without further ado, we may proceed to the trial of our god.
Yeah, Farina now thinks we just betrayed her.
So, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Yes, you deserve praise for the effort you took to raise the dramatic stakes. Do not forget, however, that I am Focalor, the god of justice, the embodiment of justice itself.
May I interpret these words as your refusal to stand trial? In that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor through a duel.
No, I doubt she's gonna fight her.
You would draw your blade against a god?
I doubt she's gonna accept the duel.
I see. It seems like you have made up your mind.
Oh? Wait, is she actually gonna... Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
Paimon can't believe it.
What the heck is going on?
Wow, how utterly...
Lady Farina, what did...
Shh! It would seem that there has been a misunderstanding.
Looking for excuses again?
I raised my hands just now to indicate I will admit that I've been running away for... I'm sorry, everyone.
You are not the only ones to be disappointed.
But now, it is time for the Hydro Archon to show you her courage and resolve. I, Farina, will use this trial to show the world the true meaning of justice!
This time, I will protect you.
Applaud and rejoice! One of the most outrageous and fantastical arcs known to the opera epiclese is now unfolding before your eyes. Mark my words, this shall be one of the most exhilarating and brilliant shows ever to grace the stage of Fontaine! Woohoo! Oh, now we're making...
Why does it feel like Farina just took over the whole thing? Like, come on! Didn't she just get forced? Also, even though she's still acting super dramatic, she is taking this seriously this time, right?
All right, then. Who will be my opponent in this trial?
I reckon
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
It's Arlecchino, isn't it? Oh. Okay, never mind, it's us.
Is that so?
Very well.
I was going to say, because
Then
Arlecchino
please
would make us
speak,
spill the beans
witness
straight
to
away,
that.
but...
My accuser and fated opponent.
Yeah, we almost got her to tell us everything before this trial thing. Like, there was almost no point of this part, but...
Also,
oh well.
please allow me to ask, as a final question before the... Just how much work did you...
Well, we did do a lot of prep after the meeting that day.
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spina di Rosula, since they were rather straightforward and...
Navia, the president...
Most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinates. They changed into plain clothes and came to the opera house as regular. The people's resentment against their Archon has been building as more and more of the prophecy is fulfilled. A spark was all we needed to turn smoldering anger into a flame. Moreover, according to our understanding and analysis of you, so we arranged for a
So, you mean... the ones who scoured...
And their goal was to force you to step into the giant magic box.
That's right. That house was a magic box, rather than someone's residence.
As the super ultimate version of the setup that I used when I first performed at the Opera Epiclese, the volume of the box was increased by a whole order of magnitude, and the distance it traversed was the entire gap between Poisson and Aranese.
That's why there are
Its cargo, of course, was an Archon instead of a human. My thanks, Farina. Without your help... Of course, this performance was only made possible with Father's support. The House of the Hearth spent a massive amount of labor in Mora to pull this off. We had to select a location, construct the giant magic box, dig a tunnel, and open up a path through the water. It was a lot of work for all of us.
So, in other words, the earthquake...
That's right. It wasn't a sign of another disaster to come.
Then, I can guess you gathered a crowd, prepared a stage, and made sure that the champion... Also that as soon as I appeared on...
Yes, that is correct.
Well, Clorand, I must commend you for your courage.
Thank you.
As for you, Traveler, you'd make sure that I didn't notice anything amiss before revealing yourself as my prosecutor once we'd... Oh? It's fine. The stage is already set, so there's no reason to disappoint the audience. Let's see this trial through to the very end.
Oh, they're doing the pointing thing in court again.
Madam Prosecutor, please allow me to pass this along. This is a document that Miss Charlotte applied for and received permission to share with you during the trial.
Huh? Charlotte wanted to give us something? Oh, so she's here too! Oh, let Paimon see! Wait. Then that means this... So in other words, we can refer to this anthology of evidence every time... Let's quickly confirm the information in it. Just think of it as a refresher, alright?
You defeated the Hydro Archon in the very first duel you took part in at the Opera House. That's one for the history books, all right. I didn't think this is the first time, Monsieur, of the two of the fortress of... According to Monsieur, I nearly lost the words of someone as...
The prosecution and the defense are both in position. The trial shall now begin.
Oh, come on, Nervylette. There's no need to just fast forward to the part where the prosecution lays out my offenses. As the defendant and the lead actress of this performance, of course, it is only natural for humans to struggle to understand the actions of a god. However,
that's true. But my charge here is unrelated to your conduct as an Archon. Instead, I would like to charge you as a fraud who's never been the Archon in the first place.
Wait. No. You can't be telling me that.
Lady Farina's
I literally just got her. Unless it turns out Farina's not the Hydro Archon. That would be awkward. Oh, and there we have it. And there we have it.
Hey, I came here thinking that we were going to try the Hydro Archon for forsaking duty, but did I hear that right? She's not our Archon at all?
Oh, well, we'll find
Charge
out.
accepted. Lady Farina, do you plead guilty to the charge?
Wait.
Lady Farina.
No, wait.
I plead not guilty. How can I be guilty? There is no way that I, Focalor, otherwise known as Farina de Fontaine, a member of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine, could be anything other than your true Archon.
I just realised her other outfit
Even though Lady
hasn't been
Farina
shown
can be
yet.
rather eccentric,
That's all
isn't it going too far to doubt her very identity?
You know, like a dark outfit with the short
I've never
hair.
questioned her identity either. Sure, Lady Farina can be super irresponsible.
I have cause to believe that common sense will prevail in this case. Many of the members of the audience have known me as the Hydro Archon ever since they were born. There would be no... See? Even the Oratrice has decided to show me if you wish to drop the case, I can promise you as the God of Justice that you will not have to face trial for making a false accusation.
An argument with near impossible odds, huh? We have to not only refute Farina's claims, but also overturn the long-held...
Well, I tried to give you the chance to surrender. If you must persist, and if I was not the Archon, then how did I manage to live for over 500 years?
So she actually is really old. Okay. Okay. Wait, what? Why can she live for so long? Oh. A curse. Oh. Fair enough.
First of all, you may be a member of another long-lived race, which would allow you to naturally possess an extended lifespan.
Who gave you that idea? Was it the knave? You'd sink so low as to use a harbinger's words against me.
Okay, I don't think it's a curse. Her reaction... Wait. Oh, okay. For a second I didn't see my mic thing go up. I thought I was worried for a second I was muted. Yeah. Yeah, her reaction just there kind of suggests that it at least isn't a curse.
A curse? I once thought it possible that the aura of an Archon might naturally resemble a type of curse. But in light of this claim, perhaps what I sensed was not your divinity, but a curse after all.
You sensed it too, huh, Nervylette?
Lady Farina is actually a...
Well, it is true that it's extremely difficult to tell humans and gods apart just by looking at them.
Well, I mean, after all, Archons are actually just... They can be anyone.
Don't
just
start
someone who's
celebrating too
ascended
early
kind of thing.
now. Even if I have been carrying a curse like you said, how does that prove that I am merely a human being? Besides, everyone knows that the main difference between a human and a god is the possession of authority. For centuries,
Okay, to be fair,
manifestations
she
of
hasn't
my
had
authority
proof.
have
She doesn't have
served the
proof she has
nation
the
of
actual
one
news
need
system.
only to turn their eyes towards the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal
Oh wait, but
in
no
this
one
very
knows about
opera house.
Gnosis, do they?
Or
Apart from,
consider
like,
the endemnitium that is used in every aspect of life.
Yeah. Okay. Unless her other outfit is to do with the Oratrice. I'm just honest. What am I looking for? She's not the master of the Oratrice. Oh, thingy.
You tried to reference the Oratrice, but weren't you as confused as all the rest of us when the Oratrice...
Didn't I make myself clear at the time? The decisions of the gods are naturally difficult for humans to comprehend.
Lady Farina, I believe a reminder of your current circumstances is in order. While the court is in session, the principles of justice and the law must come before all else. While you are an Archon, you are also first and foremost the defendant in this trial. You will prove yourself unable to defend against the prosecution's charges if you continue to withhold vital information against...
I never thought you'd use that kind of rhetoric against me.
That was no trick of rhetoric, Lady Farina. I've merely reiterated...
So, you neither knew why Child was declared guilty. Instead of having been created by you, the manifestations of authority you mentioned have been made by the real Hydro Archon.
The real Hydro Archon. It is true that I did not know why the Oratrice gave out a guilty verdict that day, but the Oratrice handed out that verdict unilaterally, and it has been operating independently ever since it was first created.
To be honest, if she's able to use actual like Hydro powers right now, then that would prove straight away that she's the Archon.
You can't argue that just because a divine creation is flawed, that the god behind it must also be no god at all.
She's still throwing out all kinds of excuses. Seems like she's confident that we won't be able to produce
my power as an Archon. There are many ordinary citizens in the audience. How can I just carelessly demonstrate the formidable power of an Archon?
If that poses a concern, I'm prepared to extend my...
You don't need to go that far.
Yeah. Does she not have any
Aren't you
power?
the Hydro Archon? Or is it that you can't even...
Indemnitium! Yes! It's all because of Indemnitium! All Archons derive their power from the faith of the people, and I've converted the people's faith in justice into Indemnitium. Thus did I give up all of my divine power to provide everyone with energy for their daily...
Isn't that a huge stretch?
Yeah, no matter how generous an Archon can be, how could they give up all their power? Can a god with no power even still be called a god?
It seems like nobody's buying Farina's excuse.
Hey, come now, everyone. Please, I'm still the same Farina you knew, right? Please, you've got to believe me.
If what the prosecutor said is true, she really has come.
Did she deceive all of us?
Enough. That's enough. Tell me then, if I'm not the real if you have no evidence of another Hydro Archon's existence, nor can you find anyone who can back up their claim to be such, then what grounds have you to say that I'm not actually the real deal?
Wow, she came up with yet another argument.
If she's only human. If she's only human. Oh, that she's only human.
That doesn't sound right.
No? Evidence I can prove that she's human. No. being dissolved?
It has been established that all...
Since you insist on claiming to be a god and not a human, then there's a
Oh
method
my
that
god,
you
are
can
we
use
about
right
to
here
put
and now.
Primordial
Miss Navia,
Sea on?
please apply to serve as a temporary attorney for the prosecution before addressing the court. Though...
Super sorry, Monsieur Chief Justice. Now, I've brought some seawater from Poisson, including the... So, Miss Farina, if we are to believe that you are indeed the real Hydro Archon, touching the seawater would have no effect on you. All it should do is strengthen your case. But if you don't dare to touch it, then we would have basically proved the reverse. Oh, and I must remind you that after the disaster at Poisson, nobody wants to see any more. I do hope you'll act prudently and choose this
Navia from the Spina di Rasula. The Spina has governed Poisson for many.
If Lady Farina is indeed just a human, she's probably Fontanian like all the rest of us.
Oh?
Lady Farina, this test has been unilaterally proposed by the prosecution.
Well, of course he had to tell her that. But refusing to participate...
She's just staring at the water without saying a single...
What's going on? Is she really...
Due to the inherent risk of the test, Lady Farina.
Huh?
Hey!
I think I get what's going on now. I think she actually is the Archon. If you remember back before, she was really scared of being killed, right? So even if she might still not be the Archon, it might be part of her curse that she can't dissolve. But like, basically, I think she was still scared to touch the seawater because, of course, she's very scared of getting killed and everything. So she's thinking like, oh, like I might still get dissolved by it, you know? That's my thought to it anyway. To why she hesitated.
I'm fine! Look at me, everyone!
Hold on.
My hand is
Was it
still
this hand
here!
she touched it
I
with?
haven't been dissolved! Will you believe me now?
Okay, I have another theory now. Sorry, I'm kind of...
I'm nothing like a normal human who would fall apart as soon as they touch this water! Really? Was this not the most obvious thing in the world?
Right, I have another theory. Yeah, sorry, I'm coming up with a lot of theories while I'm doing this. I know I should just, like, continue on with the quest. But, maybe her other outfit is actually how she is as an Archon. I don't know how else to put it. Like, as in... People theorized before that she had, like, a split personality and stuff. You know, because there's two different Hydro things, like the... Osea and Numa, however it's said. So I'm wondering... Maybe it's, so I can't remember which one's which, but the dark one, the one with her dark outfit, is maybe her Archon side, and then the other one is just like, well, how she is right now.
Miss Siegewin?
Possibly.
If you are present, Miss Siegewin, please come forward and attend to the defendant.
Siegewin? Don't be nervous. It'll just take a few seconds. Let me see. That should be enough.
Please announce the results of your evaluation to the court, Miss Siegewin.
As everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Farina was displaying symptoms of hyperventilation and flushed skin. These indicate that she was experiencing the adverse effects of exposure to primordial seawater. The extent to which she was affected is the same as other humans when exposed to primordial seawater of a similar concentration.
Thank you, Miss Siegewin. Lady Farina, you may return to the defendant's stand.
Do we know for sure that the Archon would be affected?
What did she just say? I didn't get dissolved! Shouldn't that be enough to prove my innocence?
Well, considering your tendency to run from your problems, we did originally prepare a direct sample of the seawater around Poisson. However, after extensive discussion, we exchanged it for a sample that is not concentrated enough to dissolve an actual human. After all, On the off chance that something entirely unexpected might occur, we don't want anyone else to lose their life to the sea.
Yeah, so out of regard for Farina's life, you secured a low-concentration sample and asked the head nurse to serve as an expert witness. It's a great thing that the direct sample wasn't actually used. Farina could have...
I can't believe... you...
Yeah, I do actually find that a bit strange.
Listen to me, everyone! Please don't give me such cold and distinct... Think about it! How can you conclusively prove that
That's
an
what I'm
Archon
saying.
can't also be affected by the primordial? Also, if I was really just a human, why would I dare to just put my hand in that kind of water? Please, everyone, anyone, just listen to me! I swear, I really am your Archon!
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway any—
With all the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't think that...
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end. If there are no objections, we
I'm
will
pretty
move
sure
on to
this
the
is the
final
part
judgment.
where he says death sentence. Like, you know, from the trailer. Wait.
I don't think anything she says at this point will
Oh.
sway any who's stacked against her now.
Wait, is she reading their minds? Or is that something else? Oh?
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Farina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, Farina is... guilty. We shall now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique.
So if she isn't the Archon, who
According to the
actually is-
judgment of the Oratrice
She
Mécanique
is
d'Analyse
gonna say
Cardinal.
Oh?
Well, what's
Wait.
wrong? What's the Oratrice's verdict?
Oh. It's gonna say death sentence, isn't it?
No, the Oratrice also
Isn't that correct?
However, the exact wording of the verdict is thus. The Hydro Archon, guilty to be punished via the death sentence.
Wait, no, but it said Hydro Archon.
The death sentence?
Does that not seem strange?
That's actually one of the available sentences? I've always thought that it was just a myth.
The one and only time the death sentence has been handed out at the court, and it's been given to the very person we've worshipped as the god of justice? What an
I guess that's
unexpected
because
twist.
that's seen as the worst sin, you know, like
Sentenced to
the Archon.
death by the
train.
Oratrice? We just wanted to use the trial to show her the seriousness of things so she'd tell us the truth.
This outcome is indeed quite strange. Is this sentence really appropriate?
Yeah, even Vacher wasn't sentenced to death by the Oratrice. You know, the real evil mastermind behind the serial disappearance
Oh yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well.
Indeed.
It said Hydro Archon.
Not only is Farina's sentence overly excessive, the very point of our trial today was also to prove that Farina has never been the Hydro Archon in the first place.
Now it's just getting
But now,
confusing.
the Oratrice seems to have deliberately
They're really
invoked the
trying to hit
title
us
of
with
the
the
Hydro
twists,
Archon.
aren't they?
What does this mean?
Oh, a cutscene maybe? Okay,
Excuse me, if I may interrupt. Is the trial still going?
Fremine! You finally made it.
Mm-hmm. Any mission?
Oh, was it the missing stone slate?
That the first prophecy slate?
I can't work out what that means.
Huh. So the knave privately...
I looked everywhere and finally found it. But has the trial already concluded?
Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Fremine. Please allow me to
Go on, Novlet, what does it say?
Traveler, I believe that you have already seen the other existing slates.
Oh, well, they're making this so tense.
Huh? So what do you see? What is it?
They're really trying to delay it, aren't they? What's it saying? Releasing her divine... I was correct! It's too dangerous for her to use her power. Is that it? Meaning the primordial seawater is her power. Or am I just...
I believe I've now made sense of the Hydro Archon's crime. It has to do with Fontaine's lost history.
Huh?
Oh, they're talking about
the Hydro Archon just guilty of deceiving her people?
They took that a different way.
Oh, wait, no, that's Farina, and we've already proven that she's not the Hydro Archon.
Yeah, but then it said...
so when you say Hydro Archon, do you mean the real Hydro Archon we've been kind of talking about?
In truth, everything that you've encountered in Fontaine up until this point can be traced back to the contents of these stone slates.
I'm not saying anything, so I'm just getting confused.
I'm uncertain as to how much sense they currently make to you.
Okay, let's try to recall the contents of the other three...
Oh, okay. Right.
The first stone slate describes what you just said. It seems to show the previous Hydro Archon using her divine power, and then the Oceanids turn into humans. Does that mean that Fontainians are transformed Oceanids? Oh, Paimon wasn't expecting that. But if Oceanids can turn into humans, then...
The sin was turning them into humans, making them individuals.
The second stone slate shows Celestia
I
floating
misunderstood.
in the sky,
I thought it was
and
the other way
Hydro
around.
Archon and her people worshipping it together. But the heavens still brought judgment down upon them.
Oh, so it was worshipping, so I was correct.
This must be the point when the Hydro Archon and the Fontainians were branded with their original sin. Does this mean that the original sin and the Hydro Archon sin are the same thing?
I think it's the fact they turned into humans. It's something like unnatural, I guess.
The third slate shows the Hydro Archon sinking into the sea surrounded by many people.
And it also happens to be Farina this time rather than the previous one.
That reminds Paimon, didn't we also watch that happen to... Well, the fourth slate is the prophecy the Fontainians have been talking about. We didn't believe that such a crazy disaster could happen.
But isn't it interesting that with the prophecies, they call it... They still say Hydro Archon, right? Hydro Archon. But it's clearly Farina there. Yeah. Right. What am I doing here? Oh, I see, I see. The proof people can be dissolved by water.
That doesn't sound...
Am I... wait. Wait, what am I trying to... Can divine... Oh, I see, I see.
We know from
I
the canon
misunderstood.
the first stone slate tells us that long ago the Hydro Archon used her power to turn Oceanids into... This might be the reason...
Okay, I get it now, okay. Celestial floating sky... Heavens, but...
That doesn't
No?
sound quite...
I thought it was trying to get at the fact it seems strange that they are still guilty. But the heavens still brought judgment. I don't really know. I'll leave that one to the last. Hydro Archon sinking into the sea. Oh god, what about that? Dissolved into sea and Hydro Archon. that one then.
That doesn't...
What? Is that not death sentence there, kind of, you know, sinking? Sorry, I'm doing so badly at this. It's probably gonna be one of those things of like, oh my god, how did I get that wrong? Sinking to sea. People don't trust her anymore. Judged him as guilty. Doesn't know why, so that's why I don't trust her.
That doesn't...
No.
That doesn't...
I'm just going to say it all now. I can't be
It's
bothered.
not as simple as falling into the sea. When Navia fell into the sea, her consciousness was the stone slates show the people gathered around the Hydro Archon in the sea.
Sorry, I understand what it means
that
now.
be a...
Okay. That's what I was trying to get at. Alright, alright. Court judgment. So we have entrance. No. I think it's that one. Yeah.
Perhaps what is about the true sin of the Hydro Archon and the original sin cast down on the...
Meaning the one of Fontanians being dissolved and her weeping. Yeah.
The prophecy from the stone slates found its way into society.
Yeah, sorry about that. It took
But
quite long
not
on
many
that, didn't
people
it?
believed it at first. If we hadn't dealt with it in time, things could have gone very badly.
Yeah. Alright. Sorry about that. Got it in the end though.
They'll dissolve into the primordial sea, but won't cease to exist. Their essence
Yeah.
will flow. The Hydro Archon was sentenced to death in court, shocking everyone present.
Her sin was...
Perhaps this means that her sin was actually Fontaine's original sin.
Okay, yeah.
Navia fell into the water inside those ruins, and she nearly dissolved. She was surrounded by the people
Yeah.
of Poisson. The eruption of the primordial sea at the fortress of Meripede was the...
Yeah.
The
Okay.
prophecy's contents can all be verified by recent events.
It's actually kind of
If
crazy.
we combine what we know together,
This
loads of
entire
truths should come to light.
chapter has all been around the prophecy. It really makes you realise that when you look back. Like even that whole oceanid thing. From the first one, you know? With Vache. Wait, no, that was Act 2, wasn't it? Oh well, you get what I mean, right? Like, it all goes back to the beginning acts.
Huh? Oh, Paimon gets it now. But then it feels like we're going to have to share some truly shocking revelations.
Oh, but yeah, not...
Let's hear them.
Oh boy. Here we go.
Incredible. We're not real humans.
All Fontanians were originally created by the late previous Hydro Archon, with Oceanids as their basis.
Yeah.
The evidence for that can be found in how only Fontanians could dissolve in primordial seawater, and how all the girls Vache dissolved were also turned into Oceanids.
Of course, Nervalet said back before that primordial seawater was what created life. Of course. That makes sense now why it dissolves people, because it's what people were from. Yeah.
Oh, and according to Navia, when she was about to get dissolved, she also saw everyone gathered around for a trial.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it follows from the content of the first slate that she probably angered Celestia by creating... That could also explain why the Oratrice
The Hydro Archon's true sin was creating us?
And yet, after many hundreds of years, the Hydro Archon's creations have turned around to try to judge the Archon within the Opera Epiclese. The twists of history are often the most unexpected of all.
Yeah, isn't the image here just like when Navia fell into the sea? So wouldn't it be trying to show the image of the Hydro Archon also falling into the sea once the In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, And all... Did Paimon get all that right?
You've made some keen deductions. I must say, given how much you still don't know, it is impressive that you've already managed to connect. However, while you were able to decode all the information on the slates, when we were at the ruins, I tried to decipher the hidden information recorded in the slates. Now that the slate collection is complete, I shall make another attempt to...
Back when he uses magic stuff? Those hydro powers. Let's see this.
I believe I should share this truth not only with you, but with all the people of Fontaine as well. Your hypotheses regarding the origin of Fontanians, and in the Fontaine of old, the previous Hydro Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land.
Okay.
The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings, and wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the Hydro Archon their desire. However, even though water as an element is intricately linked with the power of life, the Hydro Archon, as one of the seven, did not possess the authority to create a new form of human life. Not one to give in, she eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiars by appropriating the power of this planet's primordial sea. She poured primordial seawater into the Oceanid's blood vessels, creating humanoid mimics in the process. But if Fontanians were to ever come into direct contact with water from the primordial sea, the power within their bodies would escape these artificial restraints and return to the sea. As a result, their forms would collapse, and they would be reverted to... Of course, the Hydro Archon never received permission from the heavenly principles to create a new human race. And thus, the Hydro Archon and all of her creations came to shoulder the original sin of appropriating the power of the primordial sea. That is the true history.
So we were all Oceanids before we turned into human beings?
That's way too much information for me. I think I'm just going to pretend that I never heard a single thing.
Wait, but if that's the truth, we can't let the Hydro Archon be sentenced to death. After all...
This really might be too much information.
Alas, your hypothesis regarding the third and fourth stone slates was inaccurate. The slates' respective positions are, in fact, correct. A key point of the visual on the third slate is how all the individuals depicted in the water are humans rather than Oceanids.
Oh, so it's before the...
They have not been dissolved, which implies that the water depicted in this slate is not water. The nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro, as well as the nation of Trials and Justice. You may also recall Navia's experience. When she fell... Therefore, that the people of Fontaine shall try the Hydro Archon at the Court of Justice.
Okay.
Yes, it refers to our present situation.
I think I'm following now. So, what you're saying is, even though, in truth, everything we've done has...
What should we do?
Great, so we made... the prophecy is, started to come true because we tried to prevent it. Wow.
Huh. No matter what,
okay.
the prophecy will be fulfilled.
If that's the case, does that mean the scene in the fourth slate will...
Traveler, I would like to point out another small fallacy about the fourth slate. You probably thought that the eruption of primordial seawater beneath the fortress of Meripede served as the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass, yes?
That, to be fair.
However, I believe that rather than being a sure sign, that eruption... As for the root cause of the catastrophe, I believe you've already encountered it once before.
Huh? What's he on about?
This eruption was just a small warning of the things to come.
Oh, I have to... Oh my god, okay. I have to actually work out what the actual reason is. It was probably Celestia for crying out loud, but... Oh, I see. Evidence that verifies the intrusion of the primordial sea into Fortress of Meripede is...
It was both dream and reality. culprit. That could only be that thing inside the primordial
So
sea,
rather
right?
than it being a person, that big whale thing is the reason behind it all, instead. Hence why it's the boss.
The truth,
that I'm about
the
to
original
fight in a
sin,
bit, I'm
the
guessing.
trial.
I've been wondering that. There's all of this going on, but there's still the weekly boss and stuff to come. Which I'm guessing is the Archon quest story. Is it literally about to happen? I swear it's whenever I mention stuff it then happens in the quest. It literally is the whale. Oh my god. Dragon versus whale, here we go. The whale is stronger than the dragon. No way. Oh, hello, child. I was wondering when I need to get hit. Wasn't expected to see a team up of Child and Nerve Alert.
That was way too close! How did that thing just burst into the Opera House? Wait, was that the huge whale you saw in your dream?
So we've met it at last. I understand very well why it has chosen to make an appearance here.
Why?
That whale does not belong to Tevat.
Huh?
It is a monster that has traversed the stars,
Like a descender.
weeping all the while. It has been greedily consuming the energy from the planet's primordial sea,
Well, it's like Galactus.
using it to grow.
From
That
Marvel.
is the main cause for the rising sea levels. And once it has finished consuming all of the energy...
You said that when the Hydro Archon first created Fontanians out of Oceanids, she filled their blood vessels with primordial seawater.
Precisely. That whale finds the blood of Fontanians. Therefore, when it left the primordial sea, it decided to make its next stop a packed opera house full of food.
We just barely managed to push it back, right? In that case...
That is correct. Indeed, it is more
Yeah, I'm
accurate to
pretty
say
sure it
that we
only
should
got away
thank
'cause
that
of
Harbinger for
Child
buying us
and
some
Nova.
time. Without him, from the way he looked, he must have been fighting the creature for quite a long time.
That battle maniac. We've always known that he had a special connection with that whale. Anyway, now that we know that this whale is the actual cause of the disaster...
It is too late. It had already absorbed too much of the primordial sea's energy before we could notice it. At this point, even if the entirety of Tevat were to be...
That's not something I will accept. We've already done everything we can, and we've come so far.
Indeed, that's not...
I'll fight it to the end.
So the prophecy will be fulfilled no matter what, huh?
Oh?
The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled. You may view such things as the history of the future.
Oh, right, back when we talked to the, teacup thing. Loom of Fate. Yeah, it's gonna be Loom of Fate, isn't it?
Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could
The
things
abyss.
be happening in... Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future.
Yeah, the whole abyss stuff. We need to get Traveler's sibling to help, basically. Is that the origins?
happening with the aura trees?
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
Farina! No, I still need answers.
Wait. Wait, who? Huh? What is going on? Is that Skirk? No. Wait. Huh?
You.
Huh? Wait, what is
Sorry.
going on?
That shocked expression on your face is just too amusing. I couldn't help myself.
You are not Farina. Who are you?
Ah, the sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous. A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success. But to answer your question, I am Focalor. You know, the god.
Focalor. Why did you deceive us?
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness, no. But I had to fool everyone else too, if I was to the heavenly principles.
Deceiving the heavenly principles?
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve.
So is
Fontaine
Farina like a
condemned to be
puppet,
flooded.
kind of?
One was not amused.
Is it
In
like
fact,
Raiden Shogun
one was
kind of thing?
positively bemused
Maybe.
when that problem was thrust upon me by my dearest predecessor. That's the former Hydro Archon Egeria for the uninitiated. It hardly gets more disastrous than She knew full well that the prophecy would surely come to pass. And as one of the seven, she also knew full well that one defies the heavenly principles at one's peril. So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather... I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. And I was almost growing barnacles by the... I had to outwit the heavenly principles, allow the prophecy to be fulfilled, ostensibly at least, while saving everyone at the same time. I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume that's why Egeria chose me as her successor. Although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreams of. Between the task of saving the nation, the quotidian duties of the Hydro Archon, and not... But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this, any more than I chose to be one of her Oceanid familiars.
So you were also once one of the Oceanids, transformed into a human by...
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. After becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day as a human being.
So she...
The me you see before you now is that divinity. And the human counterpart I left behind, I named Farina.
So it's kind of a split personality thing. Farina's basically just... yeah.
She could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between.
She
She's
could
a
be as
human
vain
version
and
of the
conceited,
Archon.
or as meek and vulnerable
I
as
don't
she
really
wished.
understand it. Yeah.
Her strengths were of a kind only a human could possess, as were her shortcomings. But in my eyes, Farina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human in every way. The person I always wanted to be. Anyway, so then I cursed her.
So she is a cursed
All
human.
part of the plan, of course. The plan to deceive the heavenly principles. Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy? In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Farina to be an
that's why she
actress.
calls herself an
To
actress.
play the part of the under the curse I placed on her. So long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she. Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera house, to embrace the role of leading lady, to forever. I suppose now you probably understand why your court is called the Opera Epiclette.
But Farina is only human. Even though she has had a long life, her mind... I cannot begin to fathom what she has had to...
It has indeed. And although she is innocent, it's been 500 years, and all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful opera of all time.
Wow. So, yes and no for me getting, for Farina being the Archon. If that makes sense. In other words, Farina's probably the closest playable character to the Hydro Archon, right? So no way you could say she's the Archon. For a playable character. I'm just trying to find an excuse, trying to find a way that I can still technically call Farina an Archon so that I don't feel like I just wasted my primos. Oh well. Right.
Oh? Who permitted you to come onto this stage? Now, all right. It is not my intent to reprimand you. There is no need to state your name. Just be off with you. Do not distract me from my performance. I am Focalor. The eyes of countless Fontanians are upon me. I must, at all times, display the utmost elegance and nobility. Dear audience, the performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon enough. Water jet! Hey, what gives? The audience is still watching me, you know. Guards? Wait, where are the guards? Guards! Hey!
Gather!
Yeah. Was that where we were sat at the first thing? Like in the first act? Oh? Oh, But with the other outfit, man, can't sprint or anything for some reason. Interesting.
Farina. Farina. Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me? Where are you? Be not nervous. Be not afraid. I am before you. Wait a moment. You're near me? How can this be? Mirror you, huh? You know what? That's not bad. Let's go with that. Mirror me? The prophecy. What prophecy? Wait. I know. The people will all be dissolved into the water. Oh. What's going on? I can't seem to remember anything clearly. Yes, it will. And that... But doesn't that mean everyone will die? I'm a Fontainian just like them. Oh, don't worry. Magical meeting, I will tell you how to save everyone. Oh, so there's still hope after all. As
I wonder
for
if she gets
the
the vision as
suffering,
well.
Well,
I
will
realised.
admit that the first thing that came to mind was, why do I have to be the one to suffer? But if the prophecy will come true, I'll also die anyway, right? So if there were scales, with all the people of Fontaine on one side... I suppose this would also be... Huh? Don't worry, it's nothing. Listen well. Fontaine has just... Play as... a god? That's right. You must be... If you can keep it up, then I shall have my way of defying this prophecy. But how will I do this? Don't worry. What you must do is not to turn yourself into being a human yourself. I'm sure you already know what such an entity would be like. Remember, your true challenge will not be pursuing divinity. I'm still not... So, how long... To accomplish this mission, you will have to stay on the stage. But I promise you, all will avenge... A trial, huh? How exciting.
Yeah, I just realised this is all her past, isn't it? Oh, and this is now a different outfit, isn't it? No, this is normally how she looks. Interesting. I wonder why she had the other outfit until then. Doesn't really make sense, does it?
The Maison Cardinalise has announced my accession. But this is my... What should I say to most appear like a god? To be honest, I still don't know. Ladies, and I'm sure you've all heard about how I have taken on the role of Hydro Archon. Indeed, I am Farina de Fontaine, your new Archon. In truth, I know little about becoming a nation. As the god Focalor, the god of justice, I shall do all within my power. Once again, thank you all. I thought I might stammer, but thankfully, I was.
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity...
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions.
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful? She's being so modest.
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen. She might just...
Wait, what's going on? Why is everyone... Right. Mirror me, calm down, Farina. Assertive, with a strong sense of... Oh, very good, my... Now, was wondering if some weak puppet were to one day come onto the stage and claim ownership of the... Well, it seems that you would all see right through them. Having passed my you may consider my previous act a door gift of sorts. I thought it was a debut that suit. Now then!
Ah, so that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were inside an opera house?
Her personality. It's quite shocking, to be honest, but I suppose it's a better look than before. Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful! Our future may yet be bright after all.
It seems I've turned them around. Best follow this flow and restart my accession speech. My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, keep faith in your ardor for justice. We have heard it said that this nation's sins can no longer be washed away. Well, I say that justice is most fragrant when it blooms amid sin. The scales of justice, may law be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be our worship. There is no trouble so long as I, the Archon Focalor, stand within the Opera Epiclese. So long as I stand before the Oratrice, I shall even judge the gods of this.
Yeah, I was somewhat correct then back before, when I was thinking of why she seemed so strange. Basically, I thought that she kind of compares herself a lot to the previous Hydro Archon. So she would... it would be like, so she's trying to think, is this how she'd have been and stuff? Trying to not make the previous Hydro Archon look bad in any way and stuff. Looks like I was somewhat correct, except, like, she's actually pretended to be...
Lady Farina, here are today's case reports, as well as a summary of the follow-up for your perusal.
Come now, was I not just at the... Besides, none of these...
If I may be so impertinent...
A magnificent, dramatic, and wondrous trial.
That's true, I fear I lack the ability to
No need for fright, and do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now, do your duties. The trial...
Lady Farina, I don't know what to say.
No need to thank me. Or rather, thank your own sense of perseverance and... All right. Deoteria, is it?
You remembered me, and you knew... He is doing much better now. In fact, he is far more of an ardent believer than I. He was the one who forced me to...
Oh, good. Very good. If this should happen again in the future...
You're such a gentle and wise god. Thank you.
Lady Farina, here are the latest hydrological reports.
I see. It's as I thought, then. As your god, I did already expect this, but I wanted to see how all manner of signs indicate that the prophecy will still come to pass. Forget it. That's not something you need to worry about right now.
Well, as I understand it,
Really? Have they found anything?
I'm afraid that they haven't found any...
Oh, is that so? Well, no wonder. This... The day is finally over. But it's good to see that everything's getting on
on track. There are no maybe this is fine. Alright.
But yeah, this does explain a lot of why she's the way she is.
Lady Farina, here are the new trial report.
There'll be no need for that.
Lady Farina, I've...
Indeed, my dear.
I'm guessing it's just to show
Lady
that
Farina,
she's...
we're detecting significant
doing this for
hydrological
ages.
anomalies near...
Understood. Keep monitoring.
Yeah.
I don't think I let anything slip today. I feel utterly exhausted.
I wonder if it's gonna show the part where Arlecchino attacked her. That's interesting, it shows... Showed the short-haired version of her as well. Seen... oh, wow, yeah.
Lady Farina, it's... I've heard that the first member of our family who was honored to receive an audience with you...
And what a fine family yours is indeed. It brings me great joy to meet such a faithful believer. What is it?
Are you crying?
Uh-huh. This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the god whose dominion is the waters, can I?
No wonder. No wonder. A manifestation.
So interminable. Hundreds of years must have passed by now. Perhaps.
Yeah,
the
to be
show
fair,
must
she
go
wasn't
on
actually
for
told how
hundreds
long
more.
this would go on for, was she?
I never imagined that if I reached my limit, I want to tell someone, anyone, about this. I've conducted so many investigations across the century. All I can do is keep heart. I must maintain this act. It is the...
Oh god, what sin is it this time? Oh, I think that was a similar number.
Farina, you don't have to shoulder this
Oh,
burden alone.
there we go, yeah.
Although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone, your people are more than willing to share your burden with you.
Share. That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be.
But even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, just share it with me.
A witness. Yeah, and if to that is in its entirety. If that's the she's right.
I could confide, but if things don't play out as expected...
Oh yeah, so the short-haired version of her is her, like, inner thoughts, isn't it?
No, Farina. You shouldn't be selfish. But what if... Farina, you've worked so hard. Is it such an outrageous thing to do anyway? If you let this opportunity slip through, think about it. Long and hard.
No, I have nothing to say.
Damn.
I am Farina. All you need to do, dear spectator, is to witness my...
Fine.
So even Farina doesn't know the truth? You've never once let her in on the full plan?
Yes, it had to be done. To deceive the heavenly principles, you must first deceive yourself. She did very well. If she had let her resolve falter even once in these it seems that trusting humanity was the right decision after all.
I believe that I understand how your deception works. But how would you build on this foundation to save the people of Fontaine?
Ah, good, good. Of course, the Iudex of Fontaine has pinpointed the crux of the... I'm sure you've long sensed that the Oratrice is no
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Linny did mention that he heard a human voice within the core. It now seems that that person was you. Hidden with...
And then I became one with the Oratrice, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes, it would seem so, wouldn't it? Alas, your understanding of this device still lacks sufficient... In truth, it is no enactor of justice. It is, in fact, a device created to kill the god of justice.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, you have it. And to be more precise, not only will the Oratrice take down the god of justice... I mean, did you think I would be the sort to enjoy my work over these last 500 years? But really, some have already discovered that only a small fraction of the energy generated by the device was ever used. The vast majority has been, had to be, accumulated
So does killing
to enact this death sentence.
herself maybe prevent
It was
prophecy?
all
Is that it?
part of your plan then? Both the trial
to stop
and the
herself
sentence?
crying on the throne. that kind of thing,
Indeed.
is it?
This power, accrued over 5 centuries, could have sustained Fontainians for millennia, had it only been used for that purpose. Almost all of it has now... But only power of this magnitude could hope to destroy the Hydro Archon's divine throne, shaking the rules established...
So the Oratrice's call for death was for neither Farina nor Focalor, but for the Hydro Archon. The destruction of that divine throne. If I do not misunderstand your intent, you must be...
Returning what's rightfully yours to you, of course. In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the Hydro Dragon of this planet.
But...
Oh, what? The authority of the ancient dragons shall soon be yours once more. Oh,
all you've done throughout the years.
I've never quite seen it that way, you know.
If this works out, then Nervlet's gonna be very powerful. Oh my god.
Hydro Dragon, don't cry. I must say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge the heavenly principles themselves. Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea, and the heavenly principles stole the power. I, for my part, am the god of justice. And is it not just that your original powers should be returned to you? Speaking of justice, I have always believed that justice lies. So, if the theft of the primordial sea's might was Fontaine's, then, leaving matters of procedural right and wrong aside, in other words, existence was Egeria's justice, defying the prophecy and ensure at this point, we, Iudex Nervillet,
So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as Iudex at last, in the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living alongside them have gradually brought about mutual... You are a devious one, Focalor. Things being as they are, surely you know that I could never declare them to be guilty.
Oh?
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Nervalette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
I, Judex Nervalette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
Wow.
What just happened? Has the death sentence been carried out?
What's she on about?
Was that bright light some sort of misdirection? I have a feeling that something huge just happened.
But since we're all still alive and haven't...
It's time to end this. We must...
Wait! Didn't you say just a moment ago that
I have gained the strength sufficient to deal with it. Through certain means, I now have the ability. We should seize the opportunity to pursue our quarry. Traveler, now that the oratories can no longer function, I require an executor to help me mete out justice, the root of the calamities befalling Fontaine. Come with me, Traveler. The hour of execution.
Alright, time for the boss fight.
But how are we going to do that? It's huge!
I have already done my best to separate the power of the weapons from the way. Considering the size of the beast, I cannot reach the power source. Unless we can find a way to attack it from within. I shall share part of my ancient dragon's power with you. We shall look for an opening together.
Hey!
I can feel its sorrow turning into hostility.
Stabilize! is order.
Wipe out! Incinerate!
The all-devouring narwhal cannot resist its instinct to devour. Continue to trigger its hostility. The chance will present itself.
What on earth is this boss fight?
Solidify!
Motion to compel!
I have granted you my protection. Do not fear. Seize the moment and use my power to suppress its root from within.
Incinerate! I see everything!
Order guide you.
Alright, fine. It's okay, just... Oh, what? Oh, it cuts. Oh. Was that it? Oh.
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. It should have been my job, but... oh well. It was just supposed to be a short private training session for me. I didn't think that my disciple and my master's pet would start brawling in the meantime. Well, actually, I had a feeling that it would happen at some point, but they bumped into one another earlier than I thought. What a blunder. I suppose I'll have to swing my...
That power... Who...
Paimon has an idea. It's just that he gave us the impression that she was the...
I simply did not have anything to say to the weak. But you, on the other hand, managed to defeat the all-devouring narwhal without using power from beyond this world.
Oh?
So you may speak to me as equals. I have to agree. It's a strange use of that kind of power is wasted on it. It's not cooperative. It eats too much. And I have more important things to do with my time than pet sitting. The only thing that creature has... All in all, it fails.
Miss Skirk? I think you might...
The point...
Well, being that this pet, so what sort of person is your master? Well, child's master's master. Wait, is that right?
Oh, right. So you don't know him. Sorry, I assumed you did. His name is Sir Tologi.
I am unfamiliar with that.
Huh. So Master is insufficiently famous. How should I describe him then?
Oh, the Foul Legacy.
Have you heard of the name The Foul?
The Foul?
Still nothing? Well, how about the Visionary?
Gold.
Vetterfulnir then? Or...
Ooh, that one we've heard! Rhine Doctor's part of the Hexen Circle. She's Albedo's mom, right?
Oh, so you do know that name. To be honest, but I suppose you understand now, yes? My master is likely a similar sort to Rhine-Daughter. They are both pursuing...
Wait! Didn't you also mention a visionary?
Actually, never mind that. I believe it expedient to inform you that the all-devouring narwhal used up nearly all its... Such roiling hydro energies will prove difficult for the planet. As such, the Fontaine back on the surface has most likely been thrown into... In other words, the prophecy that you've been fretting over...
What?
Not to worry. Focalor has...
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Farina will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Okay, but it's underwater right now. Oh, I see. The people did get dissolved.
Hey! Help! Over here!
All hands, initiate emergency rescue! Hurry!
Hey, lend a hand!
Look! The water's receding!
It's a miracle!
Water's receding.
We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong.
Are you alright?
We're safe.
The prophecy was wrong.
Boats on.
Zhongli just suddenly talking. Oh?
The soil renewed. The Sweena Rasula old soil skyship winglet. The various people always. Wow! Paimon barely recognizes the people in the reports. Are those really?
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The value for these big scoops lies in their inevitable. Edwin's assistant, Jurier,
Paimon's curious too.
And that's exactly why.
Are you
Oh, this time will be different. Navia!
Oh, it's you.
Hey,
I'm here to update my.
Let me introduce you.
Sorry,
This
I'm
is
gonna
Mr.
skip through a
Garun
bunch of
Snezhevich.
this.
Our residents are hard at.
Hello, Miss Charlotte. I'm a big fan of yours. I especially like. But if you don't mind,
I get where you're coming from.
that would be fine.
Oh, you're back too. How are things?
We finished laying down the
Huh?
Well, her reputation's greatly risen after that whole duel.
There's too much to consider in the reconstruction of Poisson.
Oh, wait just a moment. Do you mind me asking a few questions? You know, about how you felt before the duel, about what...
Forget it. I'm sure you...
I see you're the same...
Well, if we're talking about doing things for my sake...
Of course I will. I'm not gonna let her off that easy. All right, then everyone who wants to be in the photo, get...
Was it a good shot?
Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture. All right, hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more shots. All right, that should do it. I'll be back here later anyway, so let's call it a day.
You're very quick.
Speed is of the essence. Also, not to brag.
Wow, you really do.
I'll hazard a guess that this is how you got that interview at the Fortress of Meripede.
Whoa, you're...
That's a...
In truth, I told him that...
You're right.
Stay safe now, and...
Wow, guess we're here again, huh? There's a real nostalgic...
Looks like you've been missing us.
Duke! Did you come on?
Of course. I'm here to welcome you and our...
It's an honor to finally meet the much-rumored...
No need to thank me. But that...
Of course, of course.
All right then. This way.
Hey, no need to be so nervous.
It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want her face to appear...
Sir, please don't say things like...
But it looks like dear Mr. Jurier denies it.
No, I just...
Now, I might not look it, but I actually did meet Mr. Edwin once. And I'll be honest, the boat that brought about a miracle, the ark that saved the people. Why, you Still, if I might ask, where's that flag?
Huh. Looks like Charlotte's trying...
I have to apologize, but that ship is presently in the bowels of our factory.
Really? Well, then in that case, could I have...
You already know my answer, I'm afraid. Best you interview our head nurse instead. Or perhaps you'd like to take another photo...
Did you really have to use the word couple? Well, then, 2 solo photos will...
Is my hair messed up? Please, someone help me have a look.
Things sure are getting pretty lively here. Oh, seems like everyone's here. Would any of you like to try this new drink I came up with?
Ah, Siegeween.
Hey, Miss Charlotte.
Oh, I thought they were gonna get
Come on, Miss Siegeween, over this way. Let's find a brighter spot.
Sure. Do I have to smile? So, how have things been at the front?
Same old, as you can see. Fontaine's undergone some changes.
Other than that flying ship, I got a tad too much at...
That's why I decided to let the interview go through.
You're too kind, sir.
I see.
He sure did win the...
I'll tell them that there's good...
Oh.
What change can there be? As to what Miss Farina's departure will mean for the nation, and if our laws and governance will be transformed, we'll leave...
Hey, everyone. The photo shoot's done.
Huh? Did she leave Fontaine or something?
Good. In that case, let's call it a day.
Thanks for your cooperation. Come on, Traveler, let's go. Till next time, everyone.
There'll be a...
Maybe. Who knows? I might... Navia mentioned that she stayed in touch with
Traveler, Paimon. Ah, and Miss Charlotte, too.
Would you like a magic pocket? What sort of gadget is...
It's a wondrous bag that can be used...
Trick a friend. I wonder which of my friends would fall for that.
You could just make a friend like Fremine here. Isn't that right, Fremine?
Well...
Is this...
To be honest, that sounds pretty sweet. Could I have your...
You sure are working hard to help Fremine socialize.
He was the one who proposed doing this. He even wants to assist in our
Yes, I was planning to first introduce Pear as an assistant, and later Fremine himself. In the future...
That said, would anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
Oh, it'll work out. Every journey begins with a...
Lynette, could you come over?
Got it.
My, that Charlotte is rather perceptive. She got rid of everyone the moment she realized I had something to say to you. Father says that you did a great deal during the latest of...
That's alright. We were more than...
Oh, I guess you haven't heard. Well, after Lady Farina left, Father and Monsieur Nervillet opened negotiations, during which he gave Fontaine's gnosis to her as a... diplomatic gift.
A diplomatic gift? A gnosis?
Yes, I was quite surprised at first myself. But when I thought it over, it could have been done as an apology for the incident with Lord Child, or as thanks for his help in tying the all-devouring narwhal down. Furthermore, Father did also lend significant aid to Fontaine and Poisson.
Well, that's true, but this is a gnosis...
I would agree, but I've also heard that it seems that Monsieur Nervillet has had a significant change of heart regarding the matter.
He kind of got his power back or
So there's some reason for this that only Nervillet...
I suspect you'll have to ask him about that yourself. Ah, yes.
Isn't he real big? But back to the topic. The gnosis was given to the knave, right?
They say that he's returned to Snezhnaya to recover from his wounds.
That's true. When you think about it, we've had loads of run-ins with the Fatui.
So shocked by such a simple switching of sides?
Father!
Well, what do you know? Come to the docks to see how my children are doing and meet the Traveler by chance. Please do not pay my accomplishments in Fontaine too much mind.
Are you going to take the gnosis back?
That is our duty as harbingers. Don't be too preoccupied with sides. The goal of the Fatui concerns not a single place or person, but the entire world. With such a grand goal in mind, switching my masks is something I've always done. Well, that depends on many things. No one truly knows what the future holds. As for you, I very much look forward to our next collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourselves to be great partners. A vision? All right. I'll remember.
And that's a wrap for me. Huh? You're...
Greetings, Miss Journalist.
Hello. If I'm not mistaken...
That is correct. So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in your article. However, feel free to write as much as you'd like about our dear
I will.
The sea breeze is quite pleasant.
Farewell, Father.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence. I didn't even dare to take a picture. Thankfully, I've already wrapped up all my pre-scheduled interviews. Thank you all.
Don't be too nervous. Why don't you take a magic pocket before you go? Here, Traveler, Paimon, you take one too.
To move things about?
That's right. Funny. I was giving out magic pockets when we first met too. And I guess this must be life. We will all follow our own paths. All right then. We'll be handing out pocket.
Oh, what? The camera changing made me change the direction I was going in.
So, you really are here, Nervillet? I didn't think you were going to have free time this hour.
Really? Oh, I suppose you must have met Mr. Linney. In any case, you came at a good time. I was just considering reaching out to you to set up a meeting.
Aw, Paimon's glad that you remembered. Thank you. All right, let's have it then. How was Fontaine actually saved?
It is strange how words can often leave a bitter taste in the mouth when it finally comes time to say them out loud.
Whoa. So that's what happened? Fussalor destroyed the divine throne of the Hydro Archon and restored your power to you, transforming you into a fully fledged elemental
For me, the authority of the ancient dragons refers to absolute control over the hydro element. Fontanians were incomplete humans born of Egeria, but so long as those primordial energies remain within them, I could use the ancient dragon's authority to grant them. In other words, when I gave my verdict, Fontanians became true humans, and thus would naturally no longer be dissolved by water.
Focalor must have counted on you to make that decision as well. Your verdict was the key. Yeah, and in a manner of speaking.
It seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask. Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. I have investigated his case along many avenues, and I have learned that he once fell into an unknown chasm when he was young. There, by chance, he awakened the all-devouring narwhal. But whether it be by sentiment or reason, that should not have been enough to consider him. As for the judgment passed by the whether it was due to that liability by association or Focalor deliberately using.
Guess Focalor had Fontanians in mind the whole time. In the end, it was. Hang on a second. Paimon said back when Fontanians hadn't yet become real humans, were the children they had also transformed Oceanids?
Life has always flowed like water. Do you recall how Fontaine?
Yeah, Lynette said the Fountainids were all.
In truth, even those couples did not know that such prayers were no mere custom, but instead a form of ritual. Those Oceanids who were blessed within the spring water would later descend as new humans in the coming months.
Paimon sorta gets it now. Either way.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Yeah, about that. Risley said.
Ah, Lady Farina. The people are only aware that her death sentence has not been carried out. She abdicated the post of Hydro Archon and left affairs related to that title to me. I related Focalor's words to her faithfully. She simply said that she would. Having said that, she then packed her things and moved out.
But she's still got a place to.
You need not worry. In truth, I am somewhat happy for it, but now that she no longer has to play the role of Focalor the Hydro Archon, she can.
What about you then? What are your plans?
After Focalor passed on, the Oratrice also ceased. This matter will directly affect our trials. After much careful consideration, I've decided to take over its role in our courts. From now on,
he's always been correct
still considering stuff from the perspective of.
as an elemental dragon, there are indeed many things that I must do. But this, as such, before I attend to my other responsibilities, I must first. Additionally, the Hydro Archon's departure has brought about another problem, which is that the Opera House shall no longer produce indemnity.
That's true. That power was derived from. Wait, but the various mechs and machines in the city are all still okay.
As I am now, I have full command over New Musia, and it can serve as a complete substitute. Another reason why I cannot quite leave Fontaine immediately.
Wow. This ancient dragon's authority.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Oh, that's right. They say you've given it to the.
Leaving aside their intentionality, the their sole remaining goal in Fontaine, at least at this point, would seem to be the Gnosis. The Oratrice has ceased to function. The Hydro Archon's divine throne is now no more. As such, it has lost all meaning for Fontaine. If the Fatui have impure designs, then we might as well accede to their request now, and avoid.
What complicated considerations?
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. You will soon be heading to Natlan, I presume. I'm afraid that I have little talent as a travel guide, so all I can do is tell. As far as I'm aware, Natlan can be said to be a nation of dragons.
A nation of dragons? You mean like you?
No, I suspect that I would not find myself welcome there. Unlike ancient dragons such as myself, the dragons of Natlan have undergone long years of development. Natlan is also the nation of war. There is one other piece of information I got incidentally from my negotiations with the Knave. The Harbinger known as the Captain has thrown his hat into the endless ring of war.
The Captain. Sounds like a real tough customer.
I suggest that you fully prepare yourself before going to Natlan. Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Hang on a sec. When we spoke to Linny earlier, he mentioned that your attitude toward. We guessed that there might be some reason.
No wonder the House of the Heart. So regarding this specific issue, I was just getting. In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface. It went something like this. What next?
The all-devouring narwhal isn't here, so I'm no longer getting any interference. I can finally catch the scent of your power, what it's made of. It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons, but with something very similar to a god's curse mixed in. I'm sure I've encountered something like this before.
I do not know what you speak.
Of course. You should have the remains of the third descender on your person, yes?
Oh, the third.
Remains? I've never heard of any such thing.
According to your parlance, I believe it may be called a gnosis.
Well, that much is true. After Focalor's divinity faded, she handed her gnosis to me. But I fear I have never heard of it described in the manner that you just did.
I've been training with my master, the Foul, ever since I was young, and I have never returned to the surface since. So most of the information I possess, I got from him. It is only natural for those who are greater than humanity to possess a different sort of common sense, which is why there are so many problems in our attempts to communicate with humans. Regardless, you should probably get rid of objects of misfortune to prevent any disasters from. To live in itself is a blessing. But once a person dies, the bonds he once had with this—
What do you mean by that?
No need to fret. These are just my—
This third descender you refer to, who are they?
Master never mentioned them to me. Perhaps if you're interested, though, I could ask him.
Next time, you believe—
I do. Wait. I have a disciple of my own, don't I? He can be the messenger, then.
Interesting.
That's what she told me.
The remains of... So that's what the Gnosis actually are. Paimon just thought they looked like chess pieces.
All the same, assuming that there was no misunderstanding.
And she said that it would bring misfortune and that you should check it, which is why you gave it to the Fatui.
If she speaks the truth, then I would simply be putting Fontaine at... I had guessed that you might already be familiar with this concept, but I did not expect you to be one of them. That means that the Gnosis, which are exceedingly element-compatible and can even enhance elemental abilities, do indeed come from the third descender. I wonder, does your body also possess similar properties?
Like being able to use elemental powers without a vision. No, let's not think about this stuff comparing the Traveler to the dead third descender. That's what you say, but this topic's still... Once Child recovers, let's get some more answers out of him.
I too believe it unwise to make too many blind guesses when information...
Alright, whatever the...
Yes.
But she sacrificed herself in the end.
I suppose that would be the mystery of a god's will. I suspect not. But once in a while, I too would guess that if wishes were like life flows like water, and what ultimately is the difference between the rain...
Wow. Wait, to be continued? Or does it just mean for next chapter? Oh, maybe just for next chapter. Wow. Yeah. This has been a very interesting quest. I think that's probably one of my favourite Archon quests ever. It's hard to compare them to story quests, but for Archon quests at least, it's probably one of my favourite.